So basically, Tom had his stream, first stream back in a few days. I don't know what's going on with this guy, man. I don't know what his plan is. He just seems to be taking loads of time off.
Brah!
I don't know what this guy's plan is. Anyway, he took a couple of days off. And he came back with a bunch of debates. What did he do? He had a panel here. Then he had a talk with Malcolm about his gender doc. I guess he coped about the panel a bit. And then he decided he was going to spend the rest of his stream, the next 4 hours, basically, relitigating like all of the SAS drama. He's got it in his head that if he can just disprove Sass's narrative about him, that Sassafras, his ex, guys, if you're just coming into Tom Tent, honestly, this is the most degenerate shit in the world. This guy, his ex-moderator, ex-head moderator and producer, accused him of leading her on. And then when he accidentally leaked another woman's nudes on stream, she left his community in anger. Yeah, Pumpkin. She left his community in anger. And he's got it in his head that if he can just disprove this idea that he was like leading her on, then everything else will fall into place. And that's the only reason anyone really dislikes him. Which is just fucking delusional, frankly. So just to recap on Tom lies. Okay, he's going to claim it's not a lie. So we'll start with the weakest one. He's got an argument for the linguist thing. He very probably did work in a position called linguistic marketing, but it's marketing. He wasn't doing anything that would require him to actually study linguistics, and his argument, the gender doc stuff, is insane. He gets pressed on that in this by STV Philly. He claims to have read these books, clearly hasn't, clearly just watched the fucking YouTube video, because we know that he ripped the entire bibliography from that fucking YouTube video. So I don't know why he keeps claiming this, but the expert and linguist stuff, he's got something, and they're not like so clearly defined that you can say you're a liar explicitly on the linguist stuff. Now, you move on to the alts. The alts were very clearly him. We've gone over numerous times how the timeline that he's given makes no sense. The explanation he's given makes no sense. He says it was a different browser at one point, but then he was also signed into it at another point. He's going on about how it's actually his roommate's account. Total delusion. We've got the list where he claims it's not a rape list. He doesn't know what the list was. The list was just a bunch of random disconnected names that happened to reference the rape list meme for some random reason. It was just random disconnected names and totally not a list of women he found attractive and was making a joke about raping. God, man, what else is there? There was all that crazy stuff about the estrogenic trans man. Or trans woman, I guess. There's inventing mobile detailing. He claimed he basically pioneered linguistic marketing as well. That was the other thing. That's an insane claim. I said the alts. Oh, yeah, dude, like, there's so many. If you want to, like, if you're counting, like, all the stories that he tells, the tall tales, I mean, that's a bit, but you can't prove those are lies. Those are just stories that deny plausibility. But yeah, mobile detailing, obviously. I said that one. Pioneering linguistic marketing. There's the, obviously with the stories, it's like, what, 2 months in solitary, the whole SWAT impersonation thing. How many more fairy tale stories about his life till he had enough? You lied about your roll accounts. You lied about... Oh yeah, the one about his kneecaps getting shattered in prison and being in a wheelchair. I don't know if that's... I don't know if that's true. But anyway, I think we're just gonna start this now.
I cannot be stopped. Tom, what are your thoughts about Brianna Wu? Do you think she is actively attacking the left to get attention from the right to center people? Yes. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, we've talked about this a couple of times. I had talked about this a while back, saying that she seems to do things for very pragmatic reasons, and that her whole thing is advocacy. Her whole thing is getting people to vote in the direction that she wants them to, and to get as many people
Okay, we're gonna speed this up.
to vote in the direction and agree with her politics as possible. So, yeah, I would say almost definitely that's what a smart person would do. And she seems very calculated. She seems, I have learned a lot watching Brianna and talking to her and seeing what she does and the way that she moves and the way that she networks. And she is a very she's a very calculated person. And lots of people will look at the way that she does some things and say, "Oh, cringe. That's cringe. She did that in a cringe way." But like people who have a goal to get something done, and yeah, like
this guy is actually retarded if he thinks Brianna Wu is someone to look to learn how to be like successful. She's not actually successful. She's just propped up. She's not actually particularly successful. She's genuinely not. What do you think what has she achieved? Ever. Seriously, what has Brianna Wu achieved? She doesn't have a degree. Her game flopped and sucked. She didn't change anything in the games industry. She admits she changed nothing in the games industry. She failed in her run for Congress, suspended her second run for Congress. She got fired from Progressive Victory. She got fired from that trans film. Like, what has she done? Seriously, I'm asking. I'm genuinely asking. The only thing I can see this as is he respects the grift. Like, all those Gamergate TV shows she was involved in have failed. They've all fallen through. Yeah, it's just on... well, no, as Felix said, rather. You'd be denied personhood in most societies on Earth. Yeah. So none of us can figure anything out, no? No one can figure out what the fuck has Brianna Wu actually achieved. What are her successes? There's not a single one. Because like, what, calculated and good at networking? Who's she networking with? Who's she networking with? Who are her friends? She's been exiled from most of the political scene on the left. She's doing sort of like a centrist grift on this trigonometry podcast the other day. That's got like sub 100k views. I don't see it. She's networking with Connor Counterpoints, with Wick TV. She's networking with not even Destiny anymore, I doubt. I expect she's probably kind of on the way out over there, if she's not already out. So yeah, I'm totally lost. I don't know what he's on about here. I don't know what he thinks her successes are, what he thinks she's good at. I can't see it.
Look at a bunch of fucking autistic people on the internet calling them cringe and be like, "Oh, well, I guess I shouldn't do that then."
It's just like, unless you just go, it is literally just like as simple as, oh, she's got name recognition and money, she must be successful. No, she's got a husband who is a patent agent, and she has managed to get into a couple of spotlight advocacy positions. She's never actually really been involved in any successful project. Like, I genuinely cannot think of one.
Fuck. She's got somebody attacking her on the internet. She goes and messages them and say, "Yo, you're fucking around. And if you keep fucking around, you're going to find out." That person goes and leaks all those DMs. And everybody's like, "Wow, look at Brianna. She looks cringe there, dude. Did you see how cringe she looks?" Brianna doesn't give a fuck that she looked cringe there. What matters to her is that she's trying to throw some weight around. That's like...
What? Dude, there's no way he actually thinks this. It's not about, dude, it's not just that she looks cringe. It's like freaking out in people's DMs and making threats is embarrassing. No one thinks that looks good. Dude, this guy's tripping, no? This guy's on some shit. It never looks good. To go around threatening people in DMs. What?
The fuck? She's got somebody attacking her on the internet. She goes and messages them and say, yo, you're fucking around. And if you keep fucking around, you're going to find out. That person goes and leaks all those DMs. And everybody's like, wow, look at Brianna.
Yeah, because
she looks cringe there.
She
dude.
looked retarded.
You see how cringe she looks? Brianna doesn't give a fuck that she looked cringe there. What matters to her is that she's trying to throw some weight around. That's like, hopefully, doing those things gets people to stop fucking around. That's the goal.
But it doesn't. But it doesn't. But that people still fuck with her.
Speaking of trying to get people to stop fucking around. Speaking of. So if you're not in the Discord, we've been talking a lot about like sass and shit like that lately. And
so this guy's actually lost it. This guy is retarded.
Obviously, I've talked about the fact that I am going to be making a sass document, a sass manifesto, if you will.
So yeah, here we go. This is all right, guys. Okay. I realized that I've like titled so many things like the end of Tom 10 or Tom 10 revival, shit like that. It's getting tired to keep bringing it back. I think Tom 10 is probably here to stay. So this is like the road to the Sassafesto arc. Okay, I think that's what we're calling it. Yeah. We need like arc names. We need a timeline. This is like getting to Christian sort of levels. I need to have sagas categorized because otherwise it's starting to get confusing. And I keep thinking it's done, but it's never done. He's always coming back for more. I don't know why this is the fight he's picking. I think if I were to be cynical and analyze his motivations here, what I think Tom thinks is that he might have a case here. It may be the case that Sassafras has misrepresented the nature of their relationship to try and spin a negative narrative about him. That may well be the case. I've not seen any of these fucking conversations. I don't know what the evidence is there. I've never come down particularly hard on that because it certainly seems like she was into him from what we can see in the public. However, it could be the case that he was setting up pretty clear boundaries the entire time. It's still retarded of him to keep around a head modern producer who's like desperate for him. But he may not have actually misled her. He may not have actually been leading her on, so to speak. So, I mean, sure, great, Tom, you can exonerate yourself on that. But he's trying to, like, hang his entire credibility, almost, on just this one story. But there's more than that people have issues with. The Yults. The misrepresentation, at the very least, of linguist stuff. Claiming to have invented mobile detailing. The list. It's just a list with no connections. Like, there's numerous things. Ogling women like a freak. I mean, that's not really the lying stuff, because he's always gonna... That's just shit that makes him kind of an embarrassing, weird, pervy 36-year-old man. That is lolcow material, but this is... What he cares about is the lies. He cares about being called a liar, alright? He needs everyone to believe him. And so he's gonna go super hard and disprove the Sassafras thing because he thinks that is his ticket to redemption. So he's just totally hyper-focusing on this one story that's kind of in the background. Not a particularly interesting part of it to most people. No one really gives a fuck about Sassafras. But that's what he's going for. That is the front he wants to fight because he thinks that's the one he can win. So that's the new arc for Tom, I guess.
If she doesn't stop leaking my stuff, I'm going to do it. I wanted to do it in the beginning. And so I went live one day, right? Zonia and Sass, they leaked a bunch of my DMs and said a bunch of things that I felt like they weren't true. And so I went live shortly after, and I had a whole fucking list of DMs there to leak. I had a ton of DMs ready to go. As soon as they started leaking these things, I was like, I've got proof that that's fucking bullshit. And I went and started gathering those DMs immediately. One of them was literally, Mongos, thank you for the raid. Appreciate it. Thanks, Twin. God damn it, Malcolm. Nice. Nice. But yeah, so one of the things that they leaked, I have numerous chats on screen now. I gotta get rid of some of these. One of the things that they leaked, all I had to do was show the next message down from me. They cut that out. And it was just my message, the next one down, that totally changed all of the other DMs. I don't remember what it was, so I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember it all.
But I don't even know what he's talking about.
That's the only thing that I did.
What message did he leak that totally changed the context? Does anyone know what he's referring to here?
Was I showed my DM. That was just the next one down that changed the rest. And when I did that, I watched everybody in chat fucking lose their minds, telling me that I was a piece of shit. How dare you? You fucking scumbag. I can't believe you just leaked those DMs. You are such a lying piece of shit and all that. And I was sitting there like, what's happening? Some of the people who had been in my community for years, people who had been around for a long time, people that I thought would want to know the truth, that they cared about truth, and that if I was telling the truth and if I wasn't lying, I thought that they would want to know. And those people did not want to know. They didn't care. So when I showed that next message down, and
yo, what the fuck? Hello?
it was the first time I watched it back. I've never watched it back. I've been terrified of watching it. Like, truly. And I'm like, I'm being fucking... you guys are going to get some of the realest fucking shit from me over the next couple of weeks, okay? Damn it. There we go. I'm not one who talks a whole lot about my feelings. I think I'm in touch with my feelings. I think that I'm somebody who can express my feelings and I can be healthy and, like, I know how I feel and I can talk about it. I don't have a problem talking about it. But I don't very often. Just not interested. Not a thing that I'm interested in. Even right now, trying to talk about that stream, I'm getting a little worked up, okay? I expected to go back and watch that stream and see tears in my eyes the entire time. I expected to hear my voice quivering the entire time. I expected to see myself, like, shaking uncontrollably the entire time.
He was.
Because that's how I felt.
But he was
stressed beyond belief.
But he was like that. This one, he was like that.
It's just a lot of my positions that I want to be clear on, and I want to make sure that people understand where it is that I'm coming from or what it is that I'm saying. So I've mostly written everything up. I took some time today. It's not my logo that's in the profile picture. It's a picture of me from my thumbnail. It's a different picture, not my logo, not me. So yes, a lot, like yesterday I kept getting added.
Eyes are red.
You're in Chud's chat.
This was right after he was on with Sunday and got shouted at.
I have the clip here. So people keep saying, I said, they asked me if I would debate a woman at a bar if she called me creepy, and I said yes. That's not what happened, but I'm going to play the clip.
Did the Mantis Nudes cause all of this? No, not really. Well, the sassafras stuff,
and
yeah.
I was fine. I was calm. I was cool. I was collected. And I remember at the time people calling me to say, hey, bro, you just look really bad. You haven't shown, like, any remorse for any of the shit. You don't seem to care at all. I'm like, bro, I've apologized for this shit. What are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, you don't seem sorry, though. Like, you don't seem like you give a fuck about any of this. And I'm like, what? I haven't slept in a fucking week. I haven't eaten anything. I have barely been able to think this entire time. I can't have a coherent thought. Not at all. My mind is constantly spinning, nonstop. I can barely have a conversation with somebody. My brain is exploding over and over and over and over. I don't know what's happening to me. And because everybody is telling me that I'm wrong, I'm starting to feel convinced that I'm wrong. But then I go look at the facts, and I don't know how I can be wrong. I don't know how. So then I try to talk to these other people, and I try to get information from them. I try to go to my friends and say, hey, can you explain this to me, please? I'm so fucking lost. And I didn't get it.
Well, okay, you guys saying you are wrong, but here's the thing, right, is you have to remember, he's essentially trying to bundle everything into the SAS thing. So he's talking like he's talking about everything right now, but he is just talking about the SAS thing. He is just talking about his little disagreements with his community.
It didn't get explanations. It didn't get anybody telling me how I did something wrong. When I got done with that stream, addressing the leaks and misinformation, I realized I fucked up so badly for trusting Sass and Zonia and not recording those calls. So when I started asking them to release the calls, that was my only hope. That was my only hope, was for them to release the calls. And instead they didn't, and they hid and just kept releasing DMs and from the fucking shadows and never there to answer a question, never there to explain anything, never there to respond. Just, here's another one, there you go. Here's this one too, what about that? I was furious with myself for not recording those calls. So every call after that, I recorded all of them. Not just because Sass and Zonia went and said a bunch of things that to me.
Like, I so don't care. Yeah, Sass and Zonia could be fucking lying. Like, these people could be totally lying about what happened in that call. And the drama. This is, like, so irrelevant.
My perspective and from my memory of these things did not fit with what actually happened. Not just that, but also because I did not trust my own brain anymore. And I'm a very conceited and confident person. So for me to not trust my brain, shit, it's my fucking brain, dude. Everybody.
This is what I just don't get. Why the sass thing? Why is this your battle? Why is this what you're fighting? Well, I know why it's what he's fighting, because it's the one he can win. It's the one he can win, I think. I would guess that I would not be shocked if Sass has misrepresented this at all. That would not remotely surprise me. It's just not particularly important.
You trust my brain. And I didn't trust my brain. I didn't trust my thoughts. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust anything that I thought. I felt like there's no way that this many people can tell me that I'm wrong and me be right. I felt like it was impossible. There's no way there can be that many bad-faced people. Like, that's a fucking cope. That's a cope and a half. That is a full-on cope to sit there while 99.999% of the world is telling you you're wrong, and you're sitting there by yourself as this 0.1% saying, no, actually, you're all wrong. Actually, this is the other 99.9.
Tom has misrepresented every single conversation leaked, so I'm going with more likely Tom is lying here. That you can guess that, but if he's got evidence, then he should show it. And if he wants to make his case, he should. But it's just like, who gives a fuck about this one? I don't trust any of those people. Okay, I don't trust any of those freaks. They all hung around him for years. Sass was in Spicy, desperately defending Tom on the alts for hours. Like a fucking retard. Sulfur was riding against Tom on the J-Stalk sex pest allegations, despite the fact that he had, on numerous occasions, made unwanted advances towards her. I don't trust any of these people. I don't know why their perspective has so suddenly changed. I don't trust any of these weird little freaks in the community. Yes, they are all rats. Bugson's right. So they're all rats. Zonya as well. Yep, spitting. I don't know why you would trust any of these people. Now, I will say that as much as I would criticize Sulfur for riding against Tom, riding for Tom, and then turning around and burning him, it does feel like he is playing total bullshit with these playing a bullshit story, bullshit game with these logs. Where's this clip? Because he acts like, oh, I'm a guy who would never make an advance on a lesbian. I understand that lesbians can't be changed, but then he's also saying shit like this.
Forward you were with all of this crap. So
this is obviously about different. This is irrelevant, not about the Sulfur situation, but it's about how Tom operates.
I felt pretty safe at that point, but without that go ahead from them, yeah, I'm always in the middle. I'm in the freaking shadows. I'm always here and then I'm there, and I'm like, oh, haha, can't catch me. You don't know if I'm making a move or not. Always plausible deniability. Can always say things in a way to where there's always that question there. Forward you were with all of this crap. So I'm
always plausible deniability. So listen. I think it does seem a little. I think he talks about it a bit here. We'll talk about the Sulfur stuff, I guess, when it comes up. I don't trust any of them. I don't trust their recollection. If I don't see exact logs of what they're describing to me, if I don't see a video of it, if I don't see a call recording, I'm not believing it. So if Tom can show adequate evidence to show that he shut down Sass, told her it weren't fucking happening, cool. However, I don't think that was the case. I think Tom did this whole Volcel, I'm not e-dating unless, haha. And then when Sass found out that he was doing it with Mantis, she had a problem. Now, Tom does claim also that he never flirted with Sass. So if she can't show him flirting, I would expect to see some flirting. I would expect to see some flirting from Tom. If she can't show some flirting, then that's very suspicious to me. I haven't actually seen Tom directly flirting with Sass. What logs did she leak? What? Sass leaked logs of her talking to Tom when Sulfur was getting modded and saying, hey, Tom, you can't talk about her boobs anymore if we mod her, deal? And Tom says, no deal. I thought we've heard him on stream sort of flirting with it. We heard her call him Pumpkin. I haven't heard him flirt with her. I don't think. Yeah, they're just having sleepy late night movie private Discord servers. Discord calls, yeah. But I would still, even past that, I would expect to see some flirting. I would expect to see some logs of flirting. SAS hasn't shown those. They are being very selective. There should just be, if you're saying this is what happened, just leak some fucking shit to show it. Instead, they want to rat around and take shots without having to stand on anything. Just put a document out or something. Lay out exactly what you think happened. Tom's putting out a document. Fill out your document. Lay out what you think happened with the evidence. And everyone can stop fighting over it. But they don't want to do that. They want to sit and feed screenshots to Reservoir. Sick, fading in and out of consciousness, popping up in people's chats to take various shots. Like, it just drop the shit. Say what happened.
That's wrong. I'm the one that's right. You'd have to be fucking insane. And so I'm sitting there watching all of it and thinking, I am insane. I have to be. I have to be insane. There is no other reason. There's no other explanation. There's no other excuse. It can't be anything else. But those calls didn't just serve as like me having evidence for things for the future, but more so that I could go back and listen to them and know if I was fucking crazy at some point. I needed to go back and hear it and know if I lost my mind. Now, if I did lose my mind, and it is perfectly plausible, okay? And I'm being serious right now. You guys might think I'm fucking with you. I'm not. Like, everything I'm saying right now, I am fucking dead serious.
It is confirmed Sick and Sassafras are dating. It is confirmed. Where's the tweet? TFW, she's more than just the cute cat on Discord. They're sick. And they look like they're out drinking here. Good choice of date.
Outside of like, how much I trust my brain. I'm still open to the fact.
Kuihman, leak my messages, says Stylo. Okay, I'm reading these. I'm reading these. I disavow these. I'm going to read them. I disavow them. This is in our group chat. What does Stylo say? She doesn't look as beat as I expected. Happy for Sick, swinging well within his weight class. Now, if he can stay off a bottle and keep her off the internet, they'll be fine. Rectangle type woman, unfortunately draped even. I'm wondering what drives a woman into the arms of a man who has recently zonked off the bean in VC while he possibly neglects his daughter.
Fact that I lost my mind during that period. I'm still open to this. It's still possible. The fact that I came out of that still believing all the same things, still believing that they were lying, still believing that things were different than what it is that they said. I want you guys to know, I promise you on everything, throughout all of this, I am never lying. But it's possible that I am fucking delusional. It is totally possible that I am completely and utterly delusional. I was very close to Sass. I really liked Sass. I would have done just about anything for her. And if you had asked me, write down 5 people on a list who will be the last people to ever stab you in the back and to ever lie about you, Zonia and Sass both would have been on that 5. For sure. 100%. You would ask me back then, even days before all this happened. If you would ask me back then, I was a little questioning Sass at the time, actually, so that maybe not. I wasn't sure about Sass at the time. But these are people that at one point I trusted with anything and everything. So I still look back at that and say, the pain that I had to go through for that, the heartbreak of that, how badly that fucking hurt. I may have lost my mind. And there is never a point where I am talking about something.
Yeah, the only way in which he's lost his mind is he's obsessed with this. I think all the rest he knows he's just bullshitting on. Like the list stuff and the alt stuff is just so brazen, man. That is just so brazen. Those lies are just crazy.
Related to any of this, that I am.
But he's not going to fight those. Obviously, he just wants to fight this Sass stuff. I think he might win this Sass stuff. Like the Sass doc will be funny if nothing else. I'm glad he's making it, just because it's going to be funny. I want to see all their shit aired out. I hate these gay little harem communities. I hate this shit. It has to be destroyed. And I love seeing them burn. And it's always very entertaining when you get to see the DMs. So I'm a big fan of it happening. I just think it's completely retarded and irrelevant. I'm not going to change anyone's mind, even if he wins it.
100% confident in any of it. All I know is that when I look at the facts, this is all I can get from it. But I am always believing there's a possibility that I have lost my entire mind and I am fucking delusional.
There is that very strong possibility.
So when the SAS doc comes out, for those of you who haven't seen it, for those of you who have not seen all the information, and it's a good bit away. Somebody told me the other day that, maybe it was today, that there are people who said that I backed off and that I was waffling on it and that I was saying, oh, it's coming, but it's not coming, but it is coming, but maybe not. Like, no, I've said the whole time, it's coming. But I'm not doing it on stream.
Well, just hurry it up, bro. Just hurry it up. Nuke the bitch. Nuke the bitch already. Release the... Fucking make this shit already, bro. You've been taking ages.
I did the addressing leaks and misinformation stream. I chickened out. Everybody fucking freaking out when I showed proof that what they just showed was not only a lie, but that they cut off my message, that changed the rest of that screenshot.
What rest of what screenshot? What is he even referring to here? In the... I literally have no idea what he's talking about.
Are they trolling me? Did plans change? From my perspective, I was doing what I was asked to get upset with me saying that I didn't want to lie. So this is still the reason that I am sticking with, because this is what we discussed.
You two were not.
I was prioritizing her. It wasn't a new thing that I was telling her that I was prioritizing. How bunch of
Mantis, from my perspective, are.
I don't even know what he could be referring to here.
We know that's not
Why
true.
did he show an extra message to totally change the context?
I did lie to her about this. I didn't feel like this was her business. I didn't feel like she should be asking.
I've got literally no idea what the fuck he saw. It doesn't even seem like there was one where he showed like extra context I can see. What is this guy yapping about? Like yammering on about? What is this bald retard talking about? I've literally got no fucking idea what he's referring to. Okay, man.
It's fine.
Sweet.
I don't want to.
Awesome. Remember that time where I like totally disproved everything? No, Wigger, I don't actually. What the fuck?
When I showed that and everybody called me a
You
piece of
link
shit,
that?
I chickened out. I also had people DMing me that I was friends with, that I trusted, who said, don't do this. Stop. Don't do this. Wait. Get off and talk to me.
What is the DM he's talking about? Is it this stuff? Everyone's DMing me saying I'm lying, that Zonya has been on stream saying you left because of Mantis. You told me to say this. Am I wrong? Am I saying the wrong thing? I'm really sorry to bother you, but I need some direction here. I'm getting bombarded. People saying you're saying things. I want to know if I should ignore it. Should I push back? Should I disprove? Are they trolling me? Do plans change? Yeah, I don't know. This is just him freaking out when shit's not going his way. But she did leave because of Mantis, didn't she? Okay, I've got no idea. I truly am lost. If Tom needs to be more specific here, okay? Don't know what he thinks he's disproved. No idea.
And I did. I stopped the stream and I got off and I recorded those fucking phone calls.
Cool.
When I go back and listen to them now,
Good job.
I listen to it and I think, I'm not delusional. I was right the whole fucking time. I was 100% right.
Awesome,
the only
man.
part that I was wrong on is where I kept saying, I don't think they're being malicious. I think they're just confused. I think that there was something that happened that got like mixed signals or something. Something happened here that just confused them somehow. And so I reached out to some of these people in some of these calls. I say, I'm like, hey, can you get in touch with them and let's get into a call. If they have recordings of the calls or whatever, we can go over them and we'll get a moderator And if the moderator, we go over this, and the moderator decides that I'm wrong, I will come out publicly. I will have to. We can record these calls. I will have to come out publicly and say, I am wrong. But if they end up being wrong, I would like for them to come out and publicly say they are wrong. And that's it. I'm sure it's confusing. I'm sure they were confused. I'm sure there was something that happened that just led them to believe these things. And that's why this is happening. I'm sure it's just a mix-up. 5 months later, still no retraction. 5 months later, still leaking DMs maliciously. 5 months later, still doing this fucking shit. Nah, bruh. Nah, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. I have lost my fucking mind. That part is for sure. Whether or not I'm delusional, I don't know yet. But I have lost my fucking mind. I am fucking crazy now. Fuck these people. Fuck them for treating me the way that they did. Fuck them for trying to treat me like I'm delusional. Fuck them for dogpiling. Fuck them for stabbing me in the back. Fuck them for...
Dude, this guy's losing. You're a moderator for your personal relationship issues behind the scenes. Dude, I just don't... Why do people get in so deep with this online shit? Well, like, you have to be in so deep with these people to be needing this level of, like, assistance or, like, the thinking to get through these relationships. I feel like it's very rare that there's any complexity to my relationships with people online. It's just, like, very simple. Oh, this thing's happening. Let's talk about this. Oh, do you want to do this on stream? Do you want to do this for my stream? Could you help me with this? Thanks. It's like it's very... I don't know how he ends up in these situations. And this is the guy that says he doesn't e-date, by the way. Okay.
For saying one thing to me and another somewhere else. Fuck them all. Didn't leak any of their shit at all this entire time, and I've been so fucking patient with all of them. But one of the things that is kept me sane. There's people like Mantis, and there's others who... There's a lot of others who are not impartial, who are people who were not really on my side. But then they came and saw the evidence that I had, and they were like, "Oh, fucking shit! You gotta leak this now." And I was like, "No. If I leak, it's just gonna escalate things. I'm trying to mend this. I don't want to leak anything. I don't want to if I leak this, everybody's just gonna start calling them liars then, and I don't want that either. I just wanted them to retract it. That's all. I don't care about like hurting them. I don't care about like fucking them over. I don't care about people like breaking up their friendships with these people. I don't want that. I just want the truth. I just don't want people thinking that I'm doing this either. And I'm sure that there's like confusion or they're just hurt or something. We'll just give them a little bit and they'll fix it. And that didn't happen. Forever Wild came into the Discord today. She said, because she left with Sass. The last thing she said is something like, fuck Tom. He's
Forever Wild, back again. The nastiest hooer on Discord returns to make another man's life miserable. Isn't that crazy? Isn't it crazy that she still rears her ugly ass fucking fat face? Isn't that crazy?
Other people left because I had already said that I was banning Forever Wild anyway, so I didn't really care that she left. But she popped in today. Just
somehow, Forever Wild returned.
Alone, is this not fucking amazing? Is this not amazing? Talk about gaslighting, dude. Leave Sass alone. Me.
That Reddit comment, yes, that Reddit comment was 100% by him. I believe 100%. I hate him say I believe because it is him. It's his fucking ult. It's so clear. If you even looked at the evidence, we went over it on a stream like a couple weeks ago. I might link that. Because Tom keeps saying we don't look at the evidence when we go over this stuff, but I literally went over all the alt stuff like a week ago. Thank you for the 5 gifted, Pathos. Thank you. Great time to remind you guys, actually. Please like, subscribe, donate, buy a membership, gift a membership, buy a super chat if you can. Thank you very much. Yo, thank you for the 5 gifted air pilot, too. Thank you. I'm just looking for this quickly. I mean, we went over all in the sick video, didn't we? Fuck him. Okay, I'm linking the video on the alts. There we go. So Tom can't say we never pop the evidence. There's the evidence right there for the alt stuff.
Leave Sass alone. What? Tell Sass to leave me alone. I've said over and over. I said in the beginning, if they just retract these, I'll leave it all alone. And I'll walk away. I don't care about vengeance here. I don't care about getting in the back. I just want the things retracted. It didn't happen. They leaked more stuff. So then I said, okay, if Sass just disappears, just leaves, doesn't hang out in the space, doesn't say anything else, I'll leave it all alone. Oh, I won't leak everything. I won't show everything. Obviously, I'm still going to talk about what they did, but I'm not going to leak everything and get into all that. That's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. But no, then more leaks came. And now just within the last week, more leaks came. More of my DMs getting leaked. Me leave Sass alone. What the fuck? She said she doesn't want anything to do with you. Well, then tell her to stop doing things with me. Tell her to stop doing shit that has to do with me. Then maybe that would be a good idea. If that's actually what she wants, if she actually doesn't want anything to do with me, tell her to stop doing things that have to do with me. A little late for that. Just saying. A little late for that. But anyways. She said, it's mad creepy. You're obsessed in spreading false narratives months later to deflect from your lies being put on blast. There's no fucking lies. There's no lies. There were no lies. The one lie was when she asked me if that was Mantis's nude. That's the one fucking lie.
So that's not true. That's not true. You lied about the alts twice. You lied about your old accounts. You lied about your rape list. You lied about your mobile detailing company. He said he pioneered linguistics. He said it doesn't e-date. So, this idea that there's no lies, this is just retarded. I don't know why he keeps repeating this. Well, I know why he keeps... I don't know why I say things like this. That's an actual one. I genuinely don't know why I say things like that. I do know why he's saying this. Because he's lying about all those things. He doesn't want to admit it. And he's never going to admit it. And he thinks that if he can just get it down to this one detail and disprove this one detail, that everything else falls into place. It's simply not the case. I think somebody pointed out in their convo, but Tom jumps from granular to general when it suits him. Yeah, 100%.
I never denied. I already showed the DMs showing that I told Sass in the beginning that I was talking to Mantis more and that I was getting a lot closer to her. There were no lies around any of this, but there's a lot of lies from Sass. She said, sorry, SVL. What is that?
Oh, yeah, saying his gender doc was used in universities? There's no fucking way.
Did you, Mr. Tom? I'm sorry. Look.
But again, that's a story that just denies all reality. It totally does not make any sense. But it's not a provable lie. The rape list thing is obviously a fucking lie. That's actually, you can actually see it's a lie. The alt stuff, you can actually see that's a lie.
I said over and over I was going to be nice about this if everybody else left it alone. No fucking shot. Check my fucking resume, all right? Sulfur, check my resume, please. And then tell me I'm hitting on Sulfur. I was not that drunk. I can't get that drunk. Sorry, Sulfur rejected you, Mr. Tom. Sorry, the person who did everything for your career left because you're a fucking liar, Tom. Address why you're a piece of shit liar without dragging other people into it. She left, yes, because for some reason she thought it was her business who sends me news. When she asked me, are you dating Mantis? I said, we have a more romantic style relationship. I told her the truth. That's the first time she ever asked me anything like that. And I told her the truth.
I mean, yeah, look. I don't want to do the comparisons, but Tom's almost inviting it, right? It's just, it's insane for him to pretend that, oh, check my resume. I would never go for Sulfur. It's like, dude, check your current job. Let him look at the resume. Okay, let's check your current employment.
Again. Yeah, also, apparently, there's a bunch of people running around saying that I lied about the fact that Sass leaked more stuff this week. So I guess... I said, and for anyone who's sending Forever Wildest stuff in the server, ask her, why if Sass doesn't want the smoke?
To be fair, Sulfur was kind of retarded. You can't partially leak and then mass nuke your DMs. Shit, sus as fuck. I mean, to be fair, the one thing about that is there is floating around, many people have, I believe, a full HTML export of Tom and Sulfur's DMs. So, I mean, it can be checked. I don't think there's any vindicating context from what I know.
Why is she continuing to leak stuff as recent as this week? And yeah, here's Resi.
But yeah, I agree that the way Sulfur's acting makes no sense to me. Like, it makes absolutely no sense.
DMs with Sass up on screen. New DMs up on screen now. And here's Sass in the chat. At Sulfur, should Resi show that DM on stream? LOL. Oh, isn't it? Do you think you should do it? Oh my gosh. And Sulfur says at Sassafras Heart, I messaged it to Reservoir. These chats I believe happened before they actually pulled it up, but yeah. And then yeah, there's that. I'm pretty sure I didn't send it. I'm not in chat saying, hey, should he pull it up? And then yeah, after she says I messaged it to Resi, Sass says good hearts. I'm sure they'll come up with some reason for why I like manipulated all this and I photoshopped it. I photoshopped it to make it look like that's what happened there. That's what happened.
Right.
Let's see, there's Stats France, the Trib. Tom knew. I talked to him in DMs about his behavior. Others in chat called him out. Okay. If that happened, again, I don't even know where that stream is. I haven't been able to find it. If somebody wants to send it to me, I'm happy to look at it. I was pretty drunk that night, so I don't remember it. But I also went through my DMs with Sass, and I didn't see anything about her talking to me about my behavior that night. I can double check real quick. That was...
What was that?
That's right.
Right.
Let's see, there's Stats France, the Trib. Tom knew. I talked to him in DMs about his behavior. Others in chat called him out. Okay. If that happened, again, I don't even know.
So he's playing a game here. Oh my god. Sass is saying, I talked to him in DMs about his behavior. Either that's referring to a different conversation or it's specifically referring to the conversation about making Sulfur a mod. But that is not, she's not being specific there in saying, I'm talking about that night after Tom got drunk on that Halloween stream. She's not specifically saying that, but when he talks about it here, he's saying it like, oh, well, I went back to that night and there was nothing where she confronted me about my behavior on that night. It's like, that's not what she's claiming. You're breaking down a specific claim that she didn't make. She made a claim that was broader than that wasn't as specific.
Know where that stream is. I haven't been able to find it. If somebody wants to send it to me, I'm happy to look at it. I was pretty drunk that night, so I don't remember it. But I also went through my DMs with Sass, and I didn't see anything about her talking to me about my behavior that night.
Yeah, my behavior that night. She didn't say that night. Like,
I can double check real quick. That was October 30th, or 11/1. Sulfur's name was not mentioned between 10:25 and 11:08. That was a Halloween stream. Yeah, if anybody has the link to that stream, I'm happy to go through it and look. But yeah, from what I see here, she didn't talk to me.
oh my god, dude.
Saying that she recommended Sulfur consistently after that. As I've talked about, Sulfur was DMing me the very next day, checking on me, saying, hey, are you okay? How's your head? Did you get enough water? Like all of the things that happened in this relationship going forward with Sulfur was, yes, we became friends because she seemingly pursued a friendship with me. So, and continued coming on my show and continued hanging out with me and continued getting into private VCs with me and talking to me for hours at a time and all of these things. So yeah, so the way that all this is manipulated is to like make it look like, oh, she was super put off by me. She was super uncomfortable from me, and that, yeah, she knew she needed to get away from me because I was so horrible. The way I saw it is that like it was some friends fucking around. Sass, I don't see anything where she says anything about it at all. And I guess the only time that it was ever mentioned was when Sulfur got into it with Saxon in Discord. That doesn't mean she wasn't uncomfortable getting hit on in the moment. She could still want to be friends, though. I don't think you've listened to anything that I just said. I don't know how to interact with that if that's what you're going with.
What? Wait. I've got no idea what his problem with that was. Okay.
Yeah, the only thing Sass ever said to me was Sulfur got into it with Saxon in the Discord. I was going to give Sulfur.
Also, who the fuck is this The Trip One in person in his chat, and why is President Sunday talking about them being an infamous contributor? What, the name's The Trib One, stands for the Tribute One, and he's an infamous contributor. He posts on numerous forums doing contributes.
Mod role so that she could just deal with Saxon herself, because I think I was streaming when it happened and I wasn't able to deal with it, and everybody was asking me to deal with it, so I thought, well, we'll just give her a mod role so that she can deal with it herself next time. And but then after I asked Sass if we could make Sulfur a mod, I then talked to Saxon, and we came to an agreement and put some ground rules down, and everything was fixed. So then when Sass said, if you never talk about her boobs again, and I said, no deal, because it was a joke, because yeah, I didn't need her to be mod anymore. Yeah, here's all of the stuff from the 31st.
Trib and Origin, the two biggest losers online. That might be true.
Yeah, no. Nope. Yeah, I went back to the day before and the day after.
Am I tripping or is Dream Homie? Is that Danabo?
I'm just making sure. I want to make sure I'm right before I say this definitively.
Top Chimp Clips. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, no. I'm all the way at like 11.4 now. Yeah, no. Me and Sass did not talk about this. So yeah, she's just lying again. Unless she deleted it.
All that comes up when I search Top Chimp Clips is videos of actual monkeys. Thankfully. Let's search my channel.
Yeah, unless she deleted it. There's nothing there. I should have just gone over all these on the stream instead of... But yeah, I guess it's just another thing I can add to the doc. Another lie. Another proven lie. Yeah, no.
But what's the proven lie? What does he think he's proven a lie
Unless she
on?
deleted it. Again. Yeah, no. I'm all the way at like 11.4 now. Yeah, no. Me and Sass did not talk about this.
Also, I'd like to point out as well, Tom's definition of lie has very suddenly changed. He won't accept that he was lying about the alts, but he will still accuse all these people of lying, even though he doesn't have actual proof that they're lying. Like, there's no... Sass could think that they had that conversation. Sass could be referring to a different conversation and getting confused. All these things could be true. He doesn't have the proof to show that she's lying. But he's still asserting that she's lying. He's got like a totally different standard for other people compared to himself. Oh yeah, I see it, DK.
So yeah, she's just lying again. Unless she deleted it. Yeah, unless she deleted it. There's nothing there. I should have just gone over all these on the stream instead of... But yeah, I guess it's just another thing I can add to the doc. Another lie. Another proven lie. Yeah, no.
You don't want to watch a Top Chimp Clips
wait.
Twitch poll clip compilation. They're quite good. Do you think so, yeah?
So what was it that Tuesday was saying? I have not like denied whether or not she was uncomfortable in the moment, because again, in the moment, I apologized, right? Like in the moment, sure, like at least for the thing on stream. That what happened on stream, I can totally understand. Again, they're kind of cutting out the other people joining in on it, but that's fine. I apologized and said that I was sorry, and I said when we went over it that apology still stands. I didn't I didn't make excuses for it. The thing that I'm arguing against is that they're acting like they're posting this now because there's some threat there, or like she was, as though she's been uncomfortable with me since then, all the way up until she leaked it, as though this was like a problem afterwards. And I'm saying all of those things are just obviously not true. That yes, we can look at the way things went, and that if afterwards I was like constantly like reaching out to her and messaging her and shit like that, if that was the case, then maybe it would be a little bit different. Or if she's like kind of standoffish, not really responding to me, and not really wanting to come on my show, and Sass is kind of like, oh, maybe don't invite Sulfur, maybe invite somebody else instead, or shit like that, right? Because the two of them were super concerned about this, right? The two of them were so concerned about this. But no, like again, you can see from their actions that is not the case, and that it is the opposite of this. And so when I say, from my perspective, these were just friends fucking around, it seems obvious from her perspective and from Sass's perspective, these were just friends fucking around. It seems blatantly obvious from everybody's perspective. These are friends fucking around. I've said on stream over and over, I think it's cringe if guys are like trying to turn lesbians straight, or if they think they can. I've said this too many times. For me to be a fucking guy who is thinking he's going to turn a lesbian straight or some shit like that. There's definitely some extra like anger happening now. Anger is one way to put it. I call it malicious and vindictive behavior. But anger could slightly fit as well. So yeah, I'm like, this shit, Trib, if you're here, it adds to the sex pest narrative. They know that. Exactly. That's why I'm saying it is just vindictive and malicious. That's it.
Stinner super chatted $6.51. Dono to Mantis's future rehab stay.
I think you got the wrong stream, but thank you.
Thing. Tom knew. I talked to him in DMs about his behavior. Others in chat called him out. If others in chat called me out, again, I will wait to go watch the VOD because I don't remember this. I was drunk, so it's fair enough. Maybe that happened. But yeah, even I think Food Shops is like talking about like how uncomfortable it made her and how upset she was with it and all this shit. Again, nobody said anything to me. So this is like again, a pattern of behavior we see with these people where they have some issues. They just don't tell me about it. The whole fucking narrative about Mantis taking over and running wild and doing all this shit is again something I can prove did not happen. Not only was Mantis not taking over, not only was she not doing all the wild shit that they acted like, but they were the fucking mods.
Okay, but everyone thinks this is retarded. No, everyone thinks this is retarded anyway. Everyone called out Zonya's stream when it happened as retarded.
They were the mods, and they didn't do anything. And most of all,
who the fuck? Who actually thinks that Mantis was like taking over Tom's community? She's not even a mod there now, is she? Like, no one seriously thought this other than retards like Zonya. This is like a narrative that like all of 10 people think.
They never mentioned any of this stuff to me. It just never happened. They never said, hey, there's some big problem with Mantis that we gotta handle or anything like that. So yeah, I will say, and look, I don't want to harp on this too much. They like, yeah, it's pretty obvious. They are trying to frame me. They are trying, like, this is malicious. There is no other way to look at any of this. This is malicious, vindictive.
Trying to frame me for what though? That saying that Sass is just accusing you of leading her on. That seems to be it. What other allegation is there here? I don't... Also, why the fuck is Sunday tagging me in Spicy Chats, telling me he's got 10 more viewers than me? Bro, this guy needs to...
There's no other way to read this at this point. Like, which is why when it all came out, I wasn't even mad about it. Because, like, while yes, it would be something that would make me look bad and, like, add to the sex pest narrative and all that, I don't know that that actually changes anything for me as for, like, people who care. But it does show people who they are. It didn't really say a whole lot about me. Most of that happened live, and the bit that didn't happen live, I think everybody can look at it and tell it's a joke. But it does say a lot about them.
After spending way too much time in Tom's transcriptions, including now, I'm 99% sure Tom kept Sass around for the money. Well, he claims that he offered to pay her, right?
Like, right after I get done accusing Sulfur of being two-faced and saying one thing in public and another privately, she just turns around and does it 3 more times after. Immediately. 3 more times. So, yeah, this part I'm not going to harp on too much, but I did just want to just lightly mention this, okay? Not going to harp on it, but I never looked at this before until now. This has been brought up a couple of times. It was sent to me just the other day as like something else that Mantis did that was a problem, and
let's go.
And I didn't really, again, I never looked at it before. So when people were saying, "Oh, Mantis did this racist thing," I just took them at their word and just saw, "Oh, there's a monkey. That's fucked up. Yeah, shouldn't post monkeys at black people. That's bad." But then I looked at it for the first time the other day, and
okay, so I got a message about this.
It is actually Sass posting this saying Mantis did something racist.
Well, let him explain it first.
And then you look at it, and it's actually a GIF of a monkey running away. Team Fatty, let's go. Welcome to Fools 2. Appreciate it, homie. In the Fools gang. Let's get some cheers in chat, guys. Let's get some cheers in chat for Uncle Fatty. But yeah, like once I finally looked at this for the first time, it says, it's Smith saying Mantis keeps running because I won't stop till we get to the bottom of this. So Mantis had just told him that she was done with the conversation that they were having in general chat. She just said, she's like, I gotta go, so I'm done. I'm out. And Smith said, Mantis is running. And Mantis just posted a GIF of a monkey running away, which means if Mantis is running, Mantis is the monkey. To me, that's the way I see it. Like I said, not going to harp on this too much. If people disagree, that's fine. I did want to get, I asked a couple of people, and I got very different perspectives from each person. So I did want to see what you guys thought. But yeah, it is her.
That's 0204 322. So he's saying Mantis is the monkey in this gift because she's running away. 02/04/2024. 3:22 p.m. Okay. Let's have a look. So what was happening in the Discord around this time? So about an hour before, she's going, sure, I'll stop saying, no one wants to debate about the N-word, shut up. So pipe down, But Mantis, you know what, this is a little bit beforehand. Mantis, you know what the soft A means, right? No one wants to debate about the N-word. I think that's the same message. Or why not? Because it proves my point. Damn, can't bear Smith being right. Damn, when did racist get this cowardice like that wild? Around the same time, Smith prattles like a woman, which either just goes to show why no blacks should use the word because they use it to be racist. Racist and sexist now, okay. Yes. And Akuma. Pro-Coom. Ugh. Around the same time. I'm pretty sure Mantis has a past. She's had at least 8 inches of black in her. Jesus Christ. That's not why someone calls someone the soft A, so let's try again. Bro lol, says Glitchin. Would you prefer the hard R, Smith? Says Mantis. So... yeah, what's that fella's name? What's that fella's name? Sorry, let's just skip over that one. What's that guy got in his name? Nothing. I don't know what that's about. So, yeah, this is total cap. She was being racist. She was obviously being... They were arguing about the N-word. And then she posts a monkey at the black guy she's arguing with about the N-word. After saying the N-word a bunch. Be fucking serious, Tom.
Responding to him, where she says, have a good day, guys. I'll meet you for the drama later. Should be retarded and soy, suck it, Smith. They've been arguing for a while. She's saying she's leaving. That she's done.
So he even... Yeah, so this seems like a deliberate misrepresentation because he's scrolling up. He knows what this... He must know what this argument was about. We being racist in here is on screen right now. Before that GIF. So it just feels like he's lying here. That he does know that this was in a racial context. Because he must know what this argument was, right? He's looking at it here.
You for the drama later. Should be retarded and soy, suck it, Smith. They've been arguing for a while. She's saying she's leaving. That she's done. He says, Mantis, keep running because I won't stop till we get to the bottom of this. And then she posts a gif of a monkey running away, which makes her the monkey from what I see from it. But a bunch of people felt like she was calling Smith the monkey. So just for me, just asking, just want to know. Again, not fighting people on this, not a thing that I'm gonna harp on. 1's in chat if that is racist. 2's in chat if you say it's not racist. And then I guess 3 if you don't know one way or the other. I can see either way. Yeah, I like this.
Chat poll. Is my e-girlfriend racist, guys?
I can see that they just automatically.
I think my e-girlfriend's racist, guys.
And so I'm open to like any of it. That was the first time I'd actually looked at it, and I thought, this doesn't look the way that I was.
Chat, is my e-kissing a racist tour?
2, 3, 1. Okay, so we got 1, 1, 3 2s, and 2 3s. Three, don't know Mantis's head or enough context to lean either way. It definitely looks bad in hindsight. Yeah. 2, only because I can understand why people would think it's racist. 2, okay. Yeah, even like by far the majority of people are saying it's not racist, but it obviously, there's obviously a mixed bag enough here to where, yeah, it seems as though there's enough ambiguity there. Yeah, just asking, just wondering. Was there anything else in here? Oh yeah, there was. So I know we've been making a lot of jokes about things. Actually, I'm not gonna go over that on stream. Yeah, never mind. I gotta time out this Ismail guy in the server. I told him to stop posting screenshots over and over.
Oh yeah, so this guy got banned from Tom's Discord. I think it's Glopshire got banned. I disavow anyone doing stuff like this. This was really bad. But this guy was posting just screenshot after screenshot of Mantis talking about black people being monkeys. And this one as well. He was just spamming these. Ha ha ha. Everyone's a pedo and a Nazi online. True. You got anything else for me, Ismail? Lamau. If they hit a teen, she says. True. Cool.
In the server, I told him to stop posting screenshots over and over. And he's just posted the same screenshot twice now, so. In 3 minutes. I don't know what this guy's issue is. Okay, never mind. He just posted it 4 more times. All right. Everybody cool if I just ban this guy? I guess I should post it.
Yeah, see, this is it. I do me. I don't fuck me. I can't speak tonight. I do me. I don't dance for the loud ass monkey ninjas in here who need some reassurance. They aren't some chattel ninjas. Okay.
Mod chat, but like he's just posting the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
And after I say I'm timing him out, he posts it 4 more times. So I think at that point I normally would just ban somebody if they're blatantly saying, yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing the opposite of what you say. Yeah, the idea Mantis would own it being racist if it was the intention. Oh shit, that was quick. Okay, yeah, you guys all. I have never seen mods agree so quickly. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't want to go over that part. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. Normally I wouldn't. Normally I would never go over this. Normally I would delete it out of the Discord. I wouldn't allow other people to post it either. But because it's these people. Yeah, because it's these people. Again, this also took place in general, so I said I'm sure what Forever Wild meant to say is I hope whatever Tom leaks is justified.
There aren't even black people in New Zealand. How did she end up being racist against blacks?
Unlike Sass's leaks, but I'm interested in truth. So I suppose we'll see. Just a couple typos, but I can see what she's getting at. Yeah, this is like the funny thing over and over from my perspective is that, like, yeah, normally when somebody says, oh, this person leaked a bunch of my DMs, but I can leak DMs to show that they're lying and using this as a narrative and just like cutting things out of context. Normally, I feel like in any circumstance, people would be like, oh, wow, that's interesting. I would like to see that. But in this circumstance, instead, what I get is, you better not. You'll find out what fucking happens, you fucking weirdo. You better not do that shit. And it's like, wow. Yeah, normally it'd be like, well,
who is going like you better not leak the SAS stuff? Like, leak the SAS stuff, bro. Do whatever you want. Who's trying to stop you? Who's trying to stop Tom Tent? Right? Name and shame these people who are telling Tom not to leak stuff.
It better be justified. There's some rules to leaking DMs, but if it's justified and you actually do prove that they were lying, I would want to see that. But yeah, that's not what we get at all. We just get a whole lot of. You're gonna leak DMs? Oh shit!
Leak them, bro. Leak that shit.
Damn, dude, you guys don't have to be so blatantly biased. My goodness.
Who cares? Do it.
I guess Shellboner said Simply is the way. Where is this? Okay. Shellboner said, yeah, I got a DM from Eva telling me to stop talking about Sass because you were lying. I said, well, we'll find out, won't we? And then Shellboner said, and to move on because she's dating someone new and doesn't care about any of this anymore. And I said, that was fair. I said, just to be clear, someone new doesn't really apply in this case because there wasn't someone old. Shellboner said, it's too confusing because in the DMs, Eva said that Sass said you guys weren't ever a thing, only flirty. Again, I've heard from numerous people now that Sass has said, Tom led me to believe that we were going to be together at some point, and he led me on. That is, I've seen this numerous times now and heard it from numerous people, and that this is continuing to be said. So we have had numerous people say they heard it directly from her, that I led her to believe that we were going to be together. So yeah, I said that's a one-way street. Shellboner said, all I will say is Sass can do better than sick. Please.
Well, yeah, she should demonstrate that somehow, for sure. I mean, someone's got to leak something. We got to see some DMs if you want to argue over this. Like, this is like such an irrelevant little drama, but like, I mean, I'll take the Tom Tent. But someone's got to leak some DMs. This gay talking around it shit, just alleging shit, is dumb as fuck. If Sass has evidence that Tom led her on in some way, he should show that. If Tom has evidence that he explicitly shut down the relationship with Sass, he should show that. Just that should be very easy for either side to show, to be honest. That's not like particularly complicated.
At the end of the day, maybe y'all can be friends again, who knows, and unchain her. Mantis said debunk Sass base. No wonder Sick is being so fucking retarded, besides his usual levels of retarded. I said he was always a white knight for Sass, so it's hard to tell. We're kind of talking about whether or not Sass and Sick are together. Shellboner said hard to tell what. Mantis said true, probably play a long game successfully, unlike Sass did, while she waited around disingenuously helping out with the channel in hopes of having a relationship with...
But people are coming out publicly and saying Sass has said that. She's like ratting around saying that to Chud, saying that to fucking... Who? Well, I don't know if she's exactly said that to Chud. I think she said something else. She said it to Kilo. I've heard Kilo repeat it. It's definitely something Sass is saying.
You made it clear you didn't want. Mantis said, all right. Shellboner said, all right. Mantis said, unrequited love is a bitch named Sass. I said, so Shellboner said, I asked why. I said, hard to tell. I said, I'm saying just because he's simping now doesn't mean they're more likely to be together because he's always done that. Plus, based on what I know, I have trouble believing Sass likes guys who simp. She seems to like the ones who don't have any interest in her. And then Shellboner posted this DM from Forever Wild where she says, anyways, she's been dating Sick. Shellboner said, that's all I know. I thought y'all knew. I said, I thought it was a joke. Here's the DMs with Forever Wild. Shell said, I don't think she looks desperate. I think she thought there was a future there. Forever said, but she's more upset about the constant lies. Shell said, who was leading who on then? Who knows? And Forever said, no, she didn't though. She thought they were real friends. Shell said, I don't think, okay, I guess that's it. So, yeah. Who's this? Sass? Yeah. Yeah, again, it's always
Sick Sassafras is my new favorite NTR pairing. Awesome.
the case, from my perspective again. And I'm fucking delusional.
Also, guys, now is a great time to remind you, please like, subscribe, donate, buy a membership, gift a membership, buy a super chat if you can. Go to discord.gg/Kuihman. I think my vanity URL expire. I think it might have, you know. Thank you for the gifted, John Sanchez. Thank you.
Don't take my word for it. Go look yourself. Go find it, okay? But it's always the case that they say it's the lies. But anytime I ask for specific lies or what are the lies that we're talking about, I don't really ever get any answers. Again, if you just bring up he lied to Sass about whether or not a girl was sending him nudes, again, just none of her business. If other people want to get upset about a bias there or something, as though your fucking internet politics are overriding overriding me wanting to help someone save their dignity and not have everybody know whose nudes those were and all that.
Sorry, save their dignity when he's out there saying, yeah, it's just like a masculine trans person making a really gross face or something. It wasn't meant to be. It was just meant to be shocking. It wasn't meant to be anything attractive. Yeah, saving dignity. All right, man. Whatever you say, bro.
That somehow, yes, whether or not she's arguing on fucking platforms and whether or not she has a bias there is more important than that. Fine, if that's your fucking argument and you think that's more important, then we live in different worlds. Why does anyone have to be delusional? You guys were literally horrible at communicating. I agree with this. I agree that we were horrible at communicating with each other. But conversations that I had with Sass regularly were that she did not engage with the real world and that she refused to acknowledge facts. And these are parts of our DMs is me telling her dude, these things are literally happening and you agree they happen and then you disagree they happen and then you agree they happen and then you disagree they happen and it's I can't keep up with what's going on. In this case, we are talking about two of us having opposite perceptions of things that are not about perspective. These are things that are about facts. So there are some things that we can look at and we can say, I would say the sky is royal blue. And the other person would say, you know what? I think it's baby blue. And somebody else could say, I would call it powder blue. And it's okay, in this case, we can have some disagreement on perspective here. But if one person says the sky is blue and the other person says the sky doesn't exist, one of those two people is delusional.
Uh-huh. What is blood yapping about?
And Sass is so pointless to prove wrong. Literally, no one cares if Tom's right or wrong. It's
that's so
I know
true.
It sounds good to people, right? It sounds good
Really
to say, Tom, you understand that a lot of people that you're going after, these aren't big content creators. These aren't people who are really they don't have a whole lot of weight behind them. So what's the point? The problem is that without being content creators, they have been able to set the narrative on me and my credibility for months.
No, they haven't.
For 5 months now.
No, they haven't. No one cares about Sassafras. No one cares about fucking Mantis, really. What is this delusion? Thank you for the membership, Smoky Guru. Thank you, thank you. This is a minor subplot. But it's now the new arc. It's now the new Tom 10 arc.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if people know who it's coming from. It doesn't matter if they have platforms. It doesn't matter if they're, if they're just some Joe Schmo nobody who.
Yo, and the 10 gifted from Smoky Guru. Thank you, thank you. I cared insofar as it made Tom angry. Yeah, I mean, real. It's just not good chat. I don't think if Tom comes out, like seriously, if Tom comes out and he proves in this Sassafras document that he is totally innocent of leading Sassafras on, and that he made it very clear they were not dating ever. Does anyone's opinion of Tom really change? Does anyone like seriously think like, oh, no, this is a cool guy now. This is a really cool guy. I really want to watch this stream now. No, no one is thinking that.
Isn't going to get a whole lot of views or drama or anything. I don't care about that. What I care about is the fact that I went from, being like my entire internet personality and my channel leaning on my credibility and like my honesty to and there being a bunch of shit out there about me supposedly lying about things, but nobody bought it because it was just people who hated me anyways who were saying it. Then people who were friends with me start saying it. And now all of that changed pretty quickly.
But this is just, okay, this feels like kind of cope. There was already a building amount of people outside of his community that didn't believe him on a lot of this shit.
So, at this point, I have no hopes.
Don't review I'm Alex allegation before Chud. I feel it's wrong somehow. Let him be the first to discuss hot topics within his circle. No.
In convincing anyone. None whatsoever. I have zero hope in convincing anyone.
Chud would literally think I was fucking retarded if I did that. You realize that all viewers will watch the same content get reviewed by 6 different people, right? DKP, you are so dumb, bro.
Oh, and I believe that I could show people proof beyond a matter of a doubt, which I will, and not one of them, I believe they will deny it and not care. I believe both of those things. While those people, somebody like Forever Wild, somebody like Sulfur, somebody like, a lot of these people will go and repeat that I'm lying about these things, right? Somebody like Food Shops, somebody like Beckett, like a lot of these people, they will repeat that I'm lying. And they will repeat that I've lied about all this shit, right? But if I prove that that's wrong, I don't think any of these people actually care. And I don't think they will come out and be like, oh man, I was wrong. Shit.
You have to respond to Food Shops attacking you and J-Stalk today. No, I don't. No, I don't. No one has to respond to Food Shops, ever.
And not care. I believe both of those things. While those people, somebody like Forever Wild, somebody like Sulfur, somebody like, a lot of these people will go and repeat that I'm lying about these things, right? Somebody like Food Shops, somebody like Beckett, like a lot of these people, they will repeat that I'm lying. And they will repeat that I've lied about all this shit, right? But if I prove that that's wrong, I don't think any of these people actually care. And I don't think they will come out and be like, oh man, I was wrong. Shit. But what I do think is that going forward, if other people hear these things, and we can say, oh, we know who it's
I think everyone's open to the idea that Sassafras has misrepresented the relationship because she's scorned. Everyone's open to that idea. Maybe some of her little friends aren't. I think everyone else is totally open to that idea.
Coming from.
I
can point them to a video.
No, what he's even talking about here.
Fucking
no one's even going to believe me.
And this is what they do. That I have proven it right there. So. Chud will say, here comes more of Tom's lies before looking at anything. So, yeah.
Dude, the viewership shit fighting in Spicy Chat is toxic. Sunday's got it out for me.
But like by far the majority of people who have reached out to me have said, like, I get why you're doing this, and I think that you've been like more than fair and more than patient, and I've given them a million chances. Because yeah, I've said over and over, like, you just stop, you just disappear, you just leave it alone, and I will. But I wasn't doing that just to be nice, because like truly, I still didn't want to hurt Sass. I didn't want to hurt any of these people. I didn't want that.
I watched Tom for his independent ideas. Tom's ideas resonate with me as a middle-aged white man. When I hear his casual objectification of women, it takes me back to a better time.
More so than anything. Yeah, it fucking makes me insanely anxious. It makes it to where I can't sleep. it makes it to where I can't eat, and I have chickened out twice now on stream from doing it when I should have. So, yeah, now.
Me and Sunday have just been going back and forth in Spicy Chat, posting viewership screenshots whenever one of us passes the other. Okay.
Now I just make a video and post it. Hello! Oh my goodness.
How do I sound?
You sound good.
Good. So I'm listening to you, and I'm not really agreeing with what you're saying, but
I felt like we agreed on this point just the other day. At least like the part about like credibility, like where that changed, where that shifted. Okay, so from there on, I guess.
Also, Tom describing this like full-on mental breakdown over Sasspress leaving his community. It's like, bro, you are in so fucking deep on these internet relationships, and you're in your 30s, dog.
Credibility is 100% understandable and acceptable. What I am disagreeing with is, like I said, like I was saying in chat, nobody cares about Sass and Sulfur and people like that. Like, and I don't mean that in a callous way. I mean, nobody, like the general audience, if they believe them or not, is not.
Ain't nobody give a fuck,
right?
Tom.
Like, they're not going to hurt your credibility. It's the other content creators who are saying these things about you that's going to hurt your credibility.
Ain't nobody give a fuck.
You're just saying the other content creators who are repeating what it is that they're putting out there, right? Like they're leaking
yes,
DMs, they're the ones
attacking...
putting it out with narratives. And so content creators just repeating what they're giving them, they can't even know better. Those content creators can't know better.
Yes, they can.
Outside of the fact that I've offered, obviously I've offered numerous times for them to come and get the other side of the story, and they've chosen not to. That's fine. But yeah, it is the content creators as well. Obviously, in my community, they all know Sass, they all know Sulfur, they all know these people, and these are people who are here forever. So in my community, yes, of course, like that's who I'm talking about, and that's what I'm describing. But yes, outside of here, where if there were people that I was like trying to convince and trying to get to understand, yeah, that like it would be other people outside of here that aren't going to care about the name Sassafras as much or Sulfur or something like that.
Yeah, and I would put a bunch of money to the fact that the people that are still here throughout all of that, the people who are still in your quote unquote in your community or whatever, it's not much that you need to prove to them, right? Like they are here because they obviously like believed you or stuck with you, wherever you want to put it. But I don't know how much convincing of like the people in your community.
But they shouldn't though.
What is that?
They shouldn't though. They shouldn't just believe me. Like if people have stuck around and they have believed, it's mostly because other content creators have come out and said, yes, I saw these things and they are real. But that like I still think it makes sense for them to see it themselves and for them to actually see the facts for themselves.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, but the content creators are the one that like those are the ones that you need to be focused on, because if you're convincing us, or I said, if you're
but I don't know what that means. Again, it's not the content creators that are lying about Sass and Zonia. Again, they are just spreading the information, but they're not the ones who are lying. So I can't go after them and go, see, they knew this was wrong. There's nothing to do there. There's nothing I can do with content creators. They're just showing the information and spreading it.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying to go after them and say, see, look, you just believe in lies. But what I'm saying is by keep on doing what you're doing right now, which is you're telling the truth. You're not doing anything like that's objectively wrong. But I'm just talking about like overall strategy of what's going to work for you in the future. And we talked about this privately. I don't have to, like my opinion on that is the exact same. So I don't think, I don't think like, so like Reservoir and Gistical and people like that, like those are the people who have really hurt your quote unquote credibility. Excuse me. Well, I can't say the word tonight, but if that's what you're focused on, maintaining, right? Yes, of course.
I just don't know that's true.
Do what you're doing. No, so I'm not saying to not do what you're doing tonight, right? What I'm saying is you need to do more. Like you should do more than that in general.
Yeah, obviously, and that's why I'm saying
yeah. Also, Tom always bitching about us never showing evidence and stuff. I linked the alts video earlier. This is this is my evidence that Tom's lying about the list. Okay. So here you see, this was posted 17th of November. This is the day of this stream. Wick took a screen cap. You can see it's almost live there. 17th of November on Tom's computer. Here's his list. Okay, he's writing this list. Lav, Weaponized Discourse, Rational Version of Tuesday, Sulfur, Seven, Amaranth, Ico, Pamela Anderson, and every girl who has ever talked to Destiny. Obviously, this seems like a list of women that Tom wants to fuck. That seems like what it is. And now there's every girl that has ever talked to Destiny at the bottom. Now, what is that in reference to? That's in reference to the rape list meme. You'll see here. Tom claims this list has no connection. There's nothing. This list is just a random list of names, by the way. It says rape list. It's a bit small. Anybody that Destiny has ever... anybody Destiny fucked before, sorry, is the exact wording. And just to really seal this, we know Tom was referencing this because this meme was made just 3 days before that stream. Made and started circulating just 3 days before that stream. This is the file. Straight from Rysek's computer, okay? So Tom, he always says no one shows evidence. No one shows evidence. But that's pretty strong evidence, I think.
Going forward, I just address these things head on as they happen. But Like the shit that JCLK did, again, that just didn't hurt me. Like it didn't do anything to me at the time. It literally only helped me. It was only beneficial to me. It wasn't until the stuff with Zonia and Sass happened that like shit changed quickly. Like it was, yes, within seconds, everything just changed.
Okay, so when all that was going on, you were doing the same thing you're doing now, which was running around trying to, prove this lie wrong and prove this DM wrong and prove that DM wrong, and by the end everybody's head is spun. When it was like one or two.
There wasn't DMs and stuff back with JCLK again. There wasn't like any DMs or anything to engage with there.
Well, it was the sassafras DMs, right? And then like if you were lying to her in DMs and what you were saying to Mantis and what you were doing with this person, and it was like just a bunch of, in the grand scheme of things,
yeah, that's why it's best to make a video. Like that's why it's best to make a video and show all the context and show like everything that happened, what was said, and then the evidence, what was said, and then the evidence, or the DMs that were shown there, and then the rest of them, or something like that. Because yes, like on streams and different information coming out on different days and different claims from different people. Yeah, it was all way too convoluted for me to even try to address at the time. And what the only time that I could have, I didn't. So yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying is that like the people that you thought were your friends, I guess, gaslit the fuck out of you, and they betrayed you and they stabbed you in the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's say you convince everybody of that. Okay, and then what? Like you still have these other people, bad actors on the side that you haven't dealt with that are still laser focused on you and destroying.
Again, I don't know. Yes, but again, there's nothing. I don't know what you're talking about. Like.
Okay,
there is nothing to do with
J.
Like,
so if you yes,
I'm trying to explain. So with JCLK, there's nothing there for me to engage with. Like, there's nothing.
Okay, we talked about a lot more people than just him, though, right?
Right, but I'm saying
I don't want to seem like I'm saying like, why aren't you attacking JCLK? I'm just speaking about a bunch of different people, not him. Like, you
yes, and that's what I'm saying. As these things are coming out, I'm engaging with them.
So this is the disagreement they're having. I think Philly is having a disconnect here. I think I know why. Philly thinks that Tom's got all these sick owns he can get on people, and that if he just got into these debates, Tom could totally prove his innocence to these people. He could own J-Stalk. He could go on J-Stalk's and he could own him and prove his innocence and win back a bunch of audience. Tom realizes he's a fucking retard. Tom deep down knows he's a fucking moron and he just pretends to be smart on stream and that he's got no backing for a lot of these claims. So he's not going to go do that. Instead, he's going to fight Sassafras. Instead, he wants to try and win the one front that he thinks he can win. And fight Sassafras and fight all her gay little friends and sick. Philly's like, why don't you just go and have these debates? You would like own them. You could own them. I was like, no. I have to fight Sassafras. That's what really matters. That's what really matters. It's not what really matters. It's just the only fight you can win.
Okay, all right. Okay, like I said, Mantis. Excuse me, not Mantis. I'm sorry, Mantis. Sassafras, Sulfur. I appreciate your wanting to defend yourself, but in the grand scheme of things, like I said, I think you have bigger and better fish to fry.
What is it? That's what I'm asking. What are they? I don't know. There's nobody else attacking me. There's nobody else talking about me. There's nobody else coming after me. There's nothing else. This is the only thing that has persisted over these like 4 or 5 months. I'm not here to point you in certain directions,
and I am sorry for mentioning just the name because I'm not here to point you in certain directions. I'm just saying we've talked, right? So of the people that
I'm got out for J-Stalk.
You're a clever guy here, Tom.
I'm just I don't know. I just if there's things that are happening, I don't know about it. All of this like kind of precipitated off the back of another claim. I think it was from Kuihman about like about my job and about him like proving clips about linguistics, and so I addressed that. Right, he brought it up again, so I addressed it this time. Now, like in the future, I can point people right there. Yes, I went over like what it was he's talking about. There it is. Pretty simple. I have a couple of debates on this now, and so yes, now like on that thing, I've addressed it, but there isn't like another thing for me to address there. And so it's like I just don't if there are other things or other directions, I just don't know about them.
Okay, so all right, just in general.
See,
right?
look, he's saying I've already addressed everything. Everything that everyone else is saying, I've already addressed it all. Yeah, by saying it's just a list with no connections. Those weren't my alts. It was my roommate who was on a different browser, but for some reason I was signed in and I was using it for r/place, and I was switching between multiple of his accounts, even after I was apparently told by him to stop using the accounts. And it's okay, I didn't invent mobile detailing. It was the first mobile detailing company I knew of, and we were one of the first ones to use mobile card readers. Okay, I didn't pioneer linguistic marketing and set up 2 departments. I was trained in a bit of linguistic marketing for one company, fired, brought into a different company, eventually managed to get into the linguistic marketing department. They were just setting up as part of it at the start, and then moved to a different company. There's a lot.
And just as a philosophy, right? Like I always keep an eye out on people who are saying like negative things about me over on my channel and stuff because there's a lot of haters in Philly. And no, I don't go out and make a video every time somebody lies about me or makes some shit up. But I always have a very good idea of who's saying what and when. And right now, what it sounds like is that you're not aware of who's saying what about you. And
not that like, they're starting things. No, if
this is like, STV Philly. This is STV Philly talking to him right now. Oh yeah, so he said he's a rhetoric coach and a debate coach, which meant he does it on Discord. He tells people how to debate better after they've had Twitch debates. So that's what he means by addressing that. He hasn't addressed being a rhetorician in real life. That's another claim. I don't think he's addressed that one specifically when he said, I'm a rhetorician in real life. This is what I do. I don't think I've heard him address that. Are there any others?
Stafrex super chatted $9.99. In at honor who wishes to support, but unable presently, from chatter.
Thank you for the $10. I'm trying to think if there are any others he hasn't addressed, or what was his addressing? Because he says we don't mention his addressing. Yeah, well, I mean, in the iCode, he does actually, I think he argues with Philly about this. He says, he said to Ico, I'm the expert, I'm a linguist, all this shit, you know. But we'll get into that. He has addressed that. But his addressing of all those things, anytime where he is like grossly misrepresented the linguist stuff, not just like a little bit, like saying, I'm a linguist by trade, which is already like kind of a misrepresentation because he was in marketing really and doesn't really know fuck all about linguistics. Anytime that he addresses it, he says that, oh yeah, if I grossly misrepresented it, it's because I was just heated and I was trying to get someone to listen to me. So you still did it like several times though. You still did that like several times to try and claim authority, to try and get someone to pay attention to you.
There are people who, again, are repeating things, but the things that are repeated are coming from these people. So I don't know anything of people, yes, coming up with new things themselves, but I know of a bunch of people who are repeating things from these people. And so I have, like, the only way to nip it in the bud is to go after those people. So if I go after the people just repeating it, all I'm going to do is just show them stuff about like SAS and Sulfur and the people that they're getting the information from. So I'm just going to end up doing the same thing.
But what if you show like how they're being bad faith? Like, then you say you had like phone calls and stuff, and like all
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Stuff that you're holding back on.
Yes, I'm not holding back. Again, the whole thing is about the fact that I am working on a video, and that the video is going to just have all the information there, so that I don't have to keep addressing this. I don't have to keep vague posting about it. I don't have to keep saying like, if you guys don't stop, now I can just I'm just going to put it out this time and just leave it at that. And
yeah, okay. I'm not going to tell you how to run your show. I just don't see the point of going after sassafras stuff. And that's the documentary you're talking about, right?
Again, it's not about going after sassafras. It is about the thing that you were talking about, where other content creators are spreading these narratives and they are spreading this information. It's just coming from sassafras. So
who is talking? Who is talking about any sassafras stuff? I guess Child has kind of repeated it a couple times, I think. But no one who's covering Tom is out here talking about sassafras a bunch. Maybe Reservoir? I can't think of anyone who's really harping on this sass stuff.
So there isn't, there's just not another thing to deal with. It is the only thing, and it has been the persistent thing, and it is, it's
not,
just,
what?
There is no end to it.
It's been the persistent thing. No, it hasn't. What is he on about? Dude, this has not been the case. What content has he been watching about this?
Okay, all right. No, listen, I understand exactly where you're coming from, Justin. So let me back up for a second, because I came here a little hot, and then you hopped right on the defensive, and I recognize that. I feel like I came in a little hot. So maybe I'm wrong about that. But so let's just back up a little bit. So you said that during the whole drama and while everything's going on, what was this, February? My timeline is getting a little fuzzy now. It was like at the end of January, February, right? When all this stuff was going on with Zonia and Sassafras.
Yeah, beginning of February.
Mantis. Yeah, okay. And do you remember when the Keffel shit was about it? Like when Keffel was the whole thing with you and Keffel, like when I was about to go down? Do you remember your mindset going into it?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
So she was like, look at this like creep weirdo Tom Foolery making like he did a whole stream on my sexual assault, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a debate. He wanted to debate my sexual assault, and that's how the whole thing started, right?
Yeah.
And you remember I DM'd you and I told you, Tom, it's not worth it. Don't do it. And you were like, do you remember what you said?
No, I don't remember this at all.
Okay, so I DM'd you and I said,
oh wait, yes, I didn't even know that it had happened yet. Yeah, before I even knew anything about it, you had DM'd me as though I knew, and yeah, you said it seems like something big is about to happen. Don't take the bait and don't get fucked up. Well, initially, yeah, you just kind of said like don't take the bait and don't get fucked up. But then once we went over it, you came back and said, yeah, never mind, you did the right thing. I didn't see all the shit that she said, and I didn't know that she said that much.
So, but when I'm talking about your mindset going into it, do you remember do you remember what you were thinking, like going into that thing?
Yeah, I remember looking at your DM and you telling me that there was the other person as well who was worried about this. And so yeah, me going in thinking, okay, I'm gonna like take this like super tame, be super easy, don't attack, don't throw any other shots. And that's what I remember doing is just kind of like playing the defensive and saying, wow, I can't believe she would say this about me. Wow, this is messed up, and just kind of doing that instead.
And how do you look back on that now in hindsight? I'm gonna be a little more specific.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you should have engaged with that or not? Looking back on it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, like, I just want you to be very, and it seems like you sort of are, but I want you to be try to be more aware of, like the right people to attack and when to attack, and like having a good reason to attack, right? Just like flailing, just like reflexively defending yourself every time somebody says something or does something that you find that's not true. It isn't a good strategy because it appears on the outside like you're always on the defensive.
Well,
You should be
kind of.
watching these people.
It comes from like going from just not really engaging with anybody and just like kind of letting shit just exist and just not really ever engaging head on at all for years to now like more so just addressing things, but not really attacking people, not dragging it on, not like going after their whole career or anything. Huh? Yeah, of course. I don't like this shit.
Okay.
Yes,
So
I don't like
you
this. I don't
them.
like it at all.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yes. All right. So my overall point is just be very strategic in these fights because pick your battles is such a cliche, but it's so true. Like you really need to just be sure of what you're doing, why you're doing it, and make sure that like there's not a lot of room for interpretation.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So all right, I think I'll leave it there. I don't want to drag this out. Thanks for having me, of course, as usual, and I'll talk to you next time.
You were.
Unless there's anything else you want to say.
Well, no, I was gonna see if there was anything else because you were. I thought you messaged me earlier saying that there was something else you wanted to talk about.
Okay. Yeah. No. All right. So there is. So I talked to Emery the other day, and he was like, he showed me a message that you had sent to Aiko, and it was like, you were saying in the message. I don't have the message. I've never even seen the message. He actually just read the message to me. But if I remember correctly, he was saying that you said that you were upset that she would go to I think Vosh or somebody, and this Icon talk that you were DMing, and you were upset that she didn't come to you because you were an actual expert in whatever it was that you guys were talking about. Like I said, I did not see the DM. He read it and he didn't even read the whole thing.
Yeah,
but
generally
it sounded
what
like
it
yeah. And so what it sounded like to me was that you were kind of leaning into the whole expert thing. Like, I'm an expert. Why didn't you come to talk to me? I'm an expert. That whole thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't see it, so I didn't have anything to say. But like, I'd love to hear what Tom has to say about this because he probably has a better answer than I could have.
Yeah. So I have addressed this, and I like other people have asked if they can come talk about this, so they might be mad at me now for addressing it with you. But
well, I started on you just so those people know he did not know I was going to talk about this.
For the most part,
Okay, so this should be pretty simple, right? He just says, yeah, so that's pretty old. A few years ago, I misrepresented exactly how much of an expert I was in this stuff, exactly how much experience I had. To Icon and DMs. It was a few years ago, and I was heated at the time. That should be a pretty simple response, right?
I've said,
surely
just leaking DMs from 3 years ago.
Surely.
Private DMs, shit that wasn't related, but there was no justification for leaking these. There was nothing that made this like justified in any way whatsoever. I don't feel like I have to address it at all. Like, I don't feel like I even need to speak to it. But on like
Whoa,
the idea.
No, stop right there. Those are private DMs. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't stop you, but those are private DMs. You shouldn't have to address them, right? Like that's whoever leaked them is fucked up. I don't want to state that out clearly. But second of all, yeah, you should that should be your answer. Like, those are private DMs. I'm not going to. But go ahead. I don't want to.
I was gonna say on like the idea of this. This is a conversation that I've had a bunch of times, and when I say that, like back in a while ago, we had a conversation about whether or not I was claiming authority on debates and on streams, and pretty early on we like agreed that I wasn't, and then we moved on to another conversation about like expertise and when you can start making claims of things. So there are a million levels to these things, and unless these are like purely credentialed things.
So like, what blood is? Here's my TED talk on when you can use a credential and when you can't. It should be so easy. Just say, yeah, I overplayed it a bit in DMs a few years ago. I fucked up on that one. It was a long time ago. I don't talk like that on stream. So easy. Such an easy response. Takes 2 seconds to say, but no, we get. You see, a long time ago, me and Beckett were having this conversation on stream about there being a million different levels to expertise.
That should be your answer. Like, those are private DMs. I'm not going to. But go ahead. I don't want to.
I was gonna say on like the idea of this. This is a conversation that I've had a bunch of times, and when I say that, like back in a while ago,
people are too nice to Tom when they tell him he's wrong. He thinks when they're polite, they're agreeing with him. Yes, that's very true. That is very true. But it's because he's a spastic and he blows up at everyone around him if they question him. It's because he's a complete spastic. So they're just like treading on eggshells in these conversations. And they know he's going to get autistic.
We had a conversation about whether or not I was claiming authority on debates and on streams. And pretty early on, we like agreed that I wasn't. And then we moved on to another conversation about like expertise and when you can start making claims of things. So there are a million levels to these things. And unless these are like purely credentialed things that like you need to like, like medicine or something like that. And even in those areas, lots of times, like you can have somebody who does just know better than you. In this case, there was a lot of context to those DMs where I had been going off about xenogenders for a while, saying that like, do you know who Doe is? Have you ever heard of this person?
Yeah.
Okay, so Doe had this whole thing where they said that they were their gender, and apparently they never actually were. It was just a thing that they did to try to challenge people, to get them to think of gender differently. But they do use its pronouns, and there were a ton of trans people who found this really offensive. Aiko was going off about the fact that there were people like me, Hansa Farkir, Sansol, who had debated xenogender stuff and talked about the fact that like it's probably not good to lump in animal genders and like inanimate
just,
object things with.
Yap. Here's the whole fucking story. No one's asking for the whole fucking story. They're asking for you to just admit that you fucked it up, Tom.
The idea of gender and with trans people specifically. And Aiko got really upset about it. She rambled on it and raved for like a week. And she does it sometimes. She would just get a little manic and just lose herself and just like get too focused.
Oh yeah, Aiko was just going crazy. You see, I had to lie about being a professional, an expert linguist in gender. I had
During
to.
This time, there were a couple of trans people. I think there were 3 trans mods who were telling her, "We don't like this. This is offensive," and she banned them.
Not the trans people, not the heckin' trans.
You don't respect trans people.
Not Not the
I
heck in
offered-
trap.
She banned 3 trans people that were
I
her
need to
moms
stop.
because they were telling her that they didn't like the xenogender stuff, and that
This is
like
Ico.
yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right, go ahead.
And so she banned them. At this point, I had already like asked Ico to talk to me about this a number of times, and she kept saying she would, but then didn't, and she would just keep putting me off over and over. And yeah, at this point, I'd been like very hardcore, like studying gender for maybe 2 years at this point.
What do
And
you mean by that? Hardcore studying it?
so we're talking about like obviously I've read like a number of books on gender and mostly trying to like understand the leftist perspective of it. But then I also read other books like The Female Brain, The Male Brain, things that are like differences in puberty and like secondary and primary sex.
Yeah, so
characteristics.
okay, this is great. This is amazing. He talks about his so this is all the studying on gender he's done.
Putting me off over and over. And yeah, at this point, I'd been like very hardcore, like studying gender.
Very
for
hardcore
maybe
studying
2 years
gender.
at this point.
Very hardcore studying. Right, this is his response to why he pretended to be an expert in Ico's DMs, by the way.
And-
What do you mean by that? Hardcore studying it?
What do you mean by that?
So we're talking about
Philly.
like obviously I've read like a number of books on gender and mostly trying to like understand
I've read all these
the
books.
leftist perspective.
Trying to
of it.
understand. Whoa.
But then
crazy.
I also read other books like The Female Brain, The Male.
I didn't realize leftists had like a specific perspective on gender. I thought leftist was more of an economic ideology. That was my understanding. I feel like you're talking about different things here. What are the leftist books he's read about this? Let's hear.
Brain, things that are like differences in puberty and like secondary and primary sex characteristics and those sorts of things. Like trying to like get like an idea of the real differences because I found it to be a really interesting topic when I first came into this space, but I was also annoyed that literally everybody I spoke to talked about it in an insanely different way. Each and every person had an insanely different way of talking about it and described it as this insanely different thing. So I was interested in
Including
it. I
you,
wanted
though,
to talk
right?
about it. Huh?
You were part of that. You were part of
Yeah, he still has. We are so far into this, and he has not answered STV Philly's question.
the people who had insane opinions, right?
I didn't really have opinions at the time. I didn't really understand it. And I was more so talking to people. I was more so trying to understand what it was they were talking about and how they talked about it. Because I was pretty far right, like maybe within a year of coming into the space and going into Twitch politics. And then all of a sudden I'm meeting tons of socialists and communists and people like that I thought only existed in like cartoons. So I didn't, just on Ben Shapiro clips and crap, I didn't know that they were like real people and that there were this many of them and all that. So,
No, I can.
I just
can
didn't know.
identify with that. I can definitely.
Yeah, I just
relate to
didn't
that.
know.
I'm sure Tom actually read those 20-year-old neuropsych books and didn't just say those because they were on the plagiarized list he got from the Prague EU Light YouTube video. Yes. Oh, obviously. He has not read the fucking books. Obviously. Anyone who genuinely thinks Tom has read those books... How could Tom prove that he's read those books? How could we get... Do we have anyone that super knows that topic? We need someone to quiz Tom on the details of those books. Right, yeah, that's how I say it. Shut up. Someone go quiz Tom on whether he's actually read those fucking books. Because I guarantee he has not. It's all just the books from that exact YouTube video. The same one that he copy and pasted the sourcing list. He has not read those books. It's just another little Tom fib.
Now, not only that, but I'm meeting trans people, like actual trans people. I think I met 20-something
Anyway, let's,
in the first
I
2
can't
weeks
bear
of being in
this
Twitch politics. It was
boring-ass
mind-blowing. I don't think I'd ever met a
voice
trans person
on
in my
my
class.
In real life,
Yeah, so like all of this was just fascinating to me. It was all very cool. I was, and I really like wanted to explore the topics. But even when I did panels and I would ask about like trans stuff or like gender abolition, and like there's a panel with like Destiny, Irrelevant, RGR, Dylan Burns, all of these people that I was hosting, Denims. I hosted this panel,
And one of the things that I asked them is I was like, so, hey, there's this like gender abolition idea out there. Is this a thing that we should take seriously? Is this a thing that we should move towards? Is this a thing that we should be advocating for? Or is it like a dumb, crazy leftist idea? I can't get a hold of this yet. I don't understand it. And they all kind of laughed and they were like, dude, who knows? I don't know. Like, whatever. It's fucking, like, it's gender. Who knows? All of them had the conversations a million times at that point. They didn't care. So I wanted to study it. I wanted to research it. And so, yes, I spent a lot of time reading books, and I also spent a lot of time like reading about stuff on stream, watching videos, reading articles, all of that crap. Eventually I had my own concept of this, argued it a lot, debated it a lot. People started saying, hey, it's kind of hard to understand this when we only see little spots of it at a time. You should put it somewhere as like a whole idea. So I started working on the gender doc, and that took about a year and a half maybe to do. But anyways, I tried talking.
His gender doc took a year and a half. Be fucking serious. Be fucking serious with the Mike from Monsters Inc. document. Yes, that one. Yes.
To Aiko about this number of times. She kept saying, yes, okay, sure. But then she would put me off and not do it. And then eventually she was having like her third conversation about gender in like a couple of weeks and still had not spoken to me. I was pretty offended just by that alone. 2, I was offended by the fact that she was banning trans people, yelling at them saying, you don't care about trans people. And 3, there was a specific trans person that was one of those that were banned that came to me and asked and said, hey, you've studied this a bunch. You've talked about this. Can you go and talk to her about this? Not from an identity perspective, because that's all Aiko talks about is just the identity. Can you talk to her about what that means and like what it is we're talking about when we say these words? And so I was like, yeah, sure. I'll reach out to her. I'll try to fix this, because they were hoping that if I could explain it to her, get her to understand, that maybe they would be able to like fix their relationships over it.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, yes, that's where I reach out to her. And that's where I say these things. But it was also, I just gotten banned as well. And I was furious at the time. And so the way that I'm talking to her is a little bit more like provocative and angry in the way that I'm saying things. But yes, that is why I'm saying those things.
Right. So, okay. What the fuck was Philly's question again? Because he hasn't actually admitted, and I don't think at a single point in that did he admit that that was a overplaying of his credentials. He was basically being asked to admit that in DMs with Aiko, he overplayed his credentials. Yeah, why did you tell Aiko you're basically an expert? Why did you tell Aiko you're an expert? Why did you pretend to be an expert in gender to Aiko? And he's like, well, I've pretended to read some books on stream sometimes. I've pretended to have read books. So I was just angry at the time. Okay, man.
All right. Is that it? Are you finished? I just wanted to make sure you got in all the context that you needed to. Okay.
Yes.
I can relate to that a little bit. Let me preface what I'm about to say by saying this. I run a YouTube channel called American Confidential. I talk about a lot of crime on that channel, and the reason I started that channel is because the conversation around black people, young black men dying in Philadelphia, usually went something like this in the newspaper. 21-year-old black man killed on the corner of 29th and Jefferson. No weapons recovered. No arrest made. Period. In a sentence, in the story, you never hear anything about it again. People move on with their day. And I decided, these people had lives. They had a reason they died. They had a reason they lived. They had, people that loved them, blah, 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 all that good shit, right? And I said, I'm going to start a channel to add context to these stories. Now, you look at my channel and the titles are provocative and all that. But once you dive in, I'm talking about a lot of why crime happens, the causes of it, some of the solutions to it, the reality of drill music and what these gang members are up to. And I don't sensationalize it. It's just straight, what some people would call, and this is very important here. I'm getting to a point here. What some people would call journalism, and some people have called me a journalist. In fact, people often refer to me as a journalist. I've read hundreds of studies at this point on the psychology of PTSD and trauma and people who are affected by gun violence. I've read studies on, redlining. I've read studies on gentrification. I've read studies on white flight, on black migration, black flight. I've read a ton of studies, but never
Walmart academics. Yeah, but Philly doesn't hide in his basement, so Philly kind of wins.
But I call myself a journalist, and there's a specific reason for that. And other people do it all the time, and I get your frustration. You feel like,
but you realize journalist is different from me saying expert on gender, because you would be an expert on like trap killings and like Philadelphia gangs and those sorts of things.
Far from it. I would never refer to myself as it. And the reason is I would never want to confuse. I would never want to confuse somebody, right? And have them think that I have some sort of expert knowledge on something when I'm just a layman person who has been studying this just the same as anybody else can. And I get your sentiment. I've always understood what you mean by I'm an expert on this. Like I've probably
hold on. You
looked
say
into
always.
this more
I've
than
never
anybody.
said that. I don't say that.
What did I say that you didn't say? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't say like I'm an expert on things on stream. I don't say those things. I said it once in a DM to somebody. But go ahead and finish.
No, he said he's an expert in gender on stream before. I'm pretty sure, right? Where's the expert in gender clip? Oh my god. Is that in the one where he jumps on that panel? The other one that he always says, "Well, I was kind of angry then too." Is that in the on the UFO one? It is, isn't it? Yeah. Where's my UFO guy clip? I can't even see it. There it is.
Where did your definition come from?
Oh, okay, so I work in linguistics.
Science and people
Okay, I work in linguistics. Definitions, we come to definitions based on colloquial usages. Okay, gender is a word that we use to describe masculinity and femininity. And so with masculinity and femininity, those are words that we use to describe what is more likely from a male or what is more likely from a female, or just what we generally associate with like social what do you call it? Like social norms. I have papers on this. I have videos that are used in colleges and in universities. Like gender is my specialty.
I would love to see them and read them.
Gender is my specialty.
Yes, I can send it to you. This is what I focus on.
I read and talk to professors who deal with this shit. Like I'd love to read the papers.
I've got papers on this.
Are all professors? Oh, excuse me. I don't know why my.
I got YouTube videos that are used in universities.
Are all professors going to agree? Are all educated opinions going to align?
So the thing that they will agree on, yes, the thing that they will agree on is they will agree on the process. Yes, it is. They will agree that there is a process to come to definitions. That they will all agree that there is a process to come to definitions on words, and I am using the process that we use to come to definitions on words. That is what we will all agree on.
At one point,
Tom was the gender academic in Kraut's gay ops server. Oh man.
So my point on
no, the papers is just the gender doc. When he said papers, he meant paper singular. He said this is his actual response. When he said papers, he meant paper singular. No, sorry. When he said papers, he meant there were multiple drafts of the gender doc. So it was papers because there were multiple versions of that gender doc. But it's all it's just the gender doc.
And that is that if that was an isolated incident, right? If that was a one-time thing, I would be like, yeah, sure, right? But it seems to be a common thread with you to say that you are a linguist by trade, an expert on gender. All these things seem to sort of wrap into each other. And I understand where you're coming from, right? Because, like I said, you've probably
multiple pages in that doc.
99% of the
true, if you printed it out, it would be papers.
People talking about this. You've read tons of stuff, like you said. You've read study after study after study. You've analyzed this in different kind of ways. You've come into this trying to, really understand it. So you, compared to your normal everyday person, you probably are more of an expert on this stuff. But I'm just talking about the way that you present yourself, right? Like people can say whatever they want about you. People can call you whatever they want. I'm just saying what you're conveying with your words to somebody. That particular DM, I have no issue with, right? And I'm just more trying to get you to understand the issue that other people are having, right? Like,
sure.
And also, to your credit, hold on, to your credit, you have been very clear that you have no educational background in this, that you have not, taken courses on this. You've been very transparent with your level of knowledge, your background, your history. You have not lied about anything. It's just this one area that is really going to rub people a certain way when you refer to yourself as having more knowledge than everybody else, even if you do, right? Even if you do. And that's my only thing. I'm not, here to say they're all right, Tom. Look, like you haven't been listening this whole time. You're a fucking liar. That's not what I'm
And he's just highlighting Mantis's messages as well while he's arguing with Philly. Dude, this guy's such a fucking loser. My e-girlfriend says that you're just focusing on optics, Philly. My e-girlfriend is telling me that you're just focusing on the optics and not addressing the real fact of the matter right now, okay? Please.
To say, I'm here to say that I understand where you're coming from. I completely understand where you're coming from, but I also understand where everybody is coming from on this particular issue, right? Like we've talked about all the other shit. Like I don't particularly think you're lying about this or that or this or that, and there is one thing I think you're lying about, but it's whatever, and it's always been whatever with me. And I'm just being honest. So go ahead.
Okay. All right.
So do you understand So I think you do understand. Actually, that's a stupid question.
I do. Let me just. Okay. So, just for the audience, because I know that you're not doing this, so I'm just. When I first addressed this, the point in addressing it was showing to say, even if there was a point on stream where I had, for some reason, accidentally or whatever, misspoke, whatever, if it actually happened, which it hasn't, but if there was some point on stream where I say, I'm an expert, I'm this, that, and the other, I have a very long track record of saying.
Okay, that has happened. We just played a clip of that happening. But sure.
I am not an expert. I am not an authority.
And I am not somebody, because even if I was, I would not want to be. Like, the point of the show is to explore things and is to have the conversations and is to like be able to argue and be challenged and challenge others, and that's it. And so I wouldn't even want to do that if I was this thing.
But he has done that, and he's used it as like his selling point.
Yes, and in your defense, the only I thought you're done.
When it comes to
only want experts to
the
say
word
knowledge of a
expert,
don't realize that other
if we're talking about things that are not again like necessarily credentialed things, these are things that I think this like varies widely. So even though I would never say on stream I am an expert linguist or I'm an expert on gender or any of that shit, there are tons of things that in my personal life I would say if somebody said, if I had a friend who said, hey, I'm going to start streaming soon. I don't know how to use OBS. I've been using it for fucking 4 or 5 years, bro. I'm a fucking expert. I will help you with that. I can.
Yeah, but nobody would care. Nobody would care if you said I'm an expert at OBS.
That's what I'm saying. Right? Is that there are like specific things that are not like credentialed things to where I think it just doesn't matter. But because my claim over and over has been that yes, like in my life, in my personal life,
it doesn't matter to me. Just full transparency.
I know that's what I'm getting to. That, like in my personal life, I've said over and over, yes, I've called myself a linguist. I've worked in linguistics. Like I will call myself a linguist there. On here, I don't say that. I would just say that I work in linguistics and just leave it at that. And it was normally only ever to just explain it.
He doesn't want to be viewed as an expert. It's been forced on him by all those professors using his papers. So real.
Experiences and talk about what it was that I was doing or what it was that I was interested in or something like that. There's the one clip of the one time where I said it irresponsibly. And then outside of that, everything else is just me just talking about myself and talking about my life.
Absolutely, that's what I saw too. Exactly.
So
I don't
outside of that,
that's what I was going to say.
Well, so outside of that, the people who keep doing this, right? Every time they come up with more clips, almost like every single time, it is continuously.
Yeah, he said this before. He calls himself a linguist to all of his friends and family. If he meets a girl, he's calling her a linguist. He's calling himself a linguist. He presents himself as a linguist in his day-to-day life.
Proving the way that I talk about this and that I talk about it the way that I say it, the way that I say I do. But when they publish them, they're convinced that it's the opposite and that it is like this other thing. So when I think you're looking for, like if you watch me talk to President Sunday, he keeps saying I've said things that I didn't say. And it's not because I don't think he's just lying. I think that he's a dog with a bone that wants it to be that thing so badly that he's like convinced himself of it. Like if he says like, oh, you lied about this or you said something different earlier or something like that, that he is, wait, what?
Is there a word for what you just described to his behavior?
A bias. It is a bias. He has a bias, and he is very zoned in on a thing. And I think that is what's happening over and over. Is people for content. They want the content. They want me to keep talking about it. They want to come fight me on these things because no matter what I say, even if I turn out,
yeah, we do want you to keep talking about these things. Absolutely, yeah, keep going, bro. You've been doing it for. I feel like you haven't done a single stream recently without talking about this shit.
And I said, actually, you know, like guys, I've been fucking with y'all this whole time. I actually do have a degree.
Really totally farmed him here.
At this fucking crazy university, whatever. It wouldn't change shit, dude. It wouldn't change.
Oh, that
shit.
That would further prove that you're a liar because you've.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it would just be a new thing for them to go after. That's all it would be. And so yes, it wouldn't change shit. And so from my perspective, I try to be like genuine and say like if I fuck up or if I do something wrong and if I like screw up because I get angry sometimes. I say things I shouldn't say. I do all of this shit and I try to do my best to like.
The only time he gets over 100 viewers now is when he's rehashing this shit. Like seriously, it's bleak. The guy is just totally getting A-log to death. It's like the death of any. When someone turns into a lolcow, just seeing that happen, it's just so crazy. Where he's like 60 viewers usually, and then all of a sudden up to 120 when he's talking about all the embarrassing details of his online sex life. And all anyone's doing in chat is needling him.
And admit to that.
So wait. You're meaning to tell me that you're a regular human being that has flaws and all?
Well,
like,
I'm not. Don't go that far. Hold on. You're going way too far. Hold on. Chill. I don't have flaws. I'm not regular. Okay. Right, I am still extraordinary. Okay. But you know, there's
all I'm saying is I've never heard anything that is outlandishly wild where I'm like, this guy is fucking out of his mind.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
I think if you're looking for what it is that I'm saying, and I think if you're being charitable to say, I'm looking for what it is Tom is trying to communicate, I think you get it every time. But I think if you're
when he said he invented mobile detailing, was pioneering linguistic marketing, that the rape list had no connections and that those alts weren't his. Yeah, I could totally see what he was saying.
Not looking for what I'm trying to communicate, but instead looking for what it is you want me to communicate, you will hear that instead. And that's why I feel like there's problems over and over, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
So, but knowing what you know, right, and saying what you just said, why do you have a problem identifying the people who are coming after you, quote unquote, or the people who are not treating this with care or not who don't have your best interest at heart? Let's just say that. why are you so gentle with these people and you're so ready to go after Sassafras and fucking these other people that nobody cares about?
Because again, those things are on the back of this. So again, before these same people
on the back of this though?
Yes.
What we just talked about. Does that have anything to do with Sassafras?
100%. Yes, it does. It does. This is what I'm talking about. Is that before those
it's
things
all about
could be
Sassafras
ignored and could fall to the wayside because it just was obvious to everybody.
I think as soon as J-Stalk came in here calling you a sex pest, you should have been on the attack. But you let him do it, and you let it fester, and you let the memes fester till it got too much for you to handle, and you couldn't handle it because you didn't fucking stop it.
That's
out
not
when
what
it
actually
started.
happened, though.
That's
not what actually. Okay, that's not what happened, though. What happened was he said it the first time. I went and talked to him about it, debated him on it.
Right.
He seemed to back off of it. So then I left it alone. Then I started to say, I said on stream and kind of made fun of him a little bit. And then he got upset, wanted to debate me again and said, no, I didn't back off this. I do still hold this position. I debated him again. The narrative everywhere. Everybody reviewed it. Everybody went over it. And it was Tom fucking destroyed this guy. He looked so stupid. He looked so silly the whole time. Then after that, then I continued making fun of him. And he started saying, oh, it was a joke the whole time, guys. Oh, you guys didn't know. Oh, I thought everybody knew I was just joking. Yeah, obviously I was just joking.
I
know. That's my point. That's my point.
You know
that's
that.
my point.
So why
that's what I'm telling you, Philly.
Like, oh,
what are you talking about? I feel like you just ignored everything that I just said, Philly. I'm telling you that all of that was me being on the attack and him like taking back everything that he started off with. He had to back off his claim very quickly.
No, he said, I don't care about the label, let's just talk about the behavior. Because sex pest is a nebulous term, it doesn't have a strong definition. You didn't get him to totally concede the claim. He said, let's stop talking about the label and focus on the behavior.
And had to pretend and cope like he was joking. And I said the whole time he was not joking.
Okay, so he was joking and needling you with the sex pest label, but he was pointing to a real behavior.
Not joking, and that he was serious and he is lying.
No. Yes.
This guy's spurging and just not recollecting this argument correctly.
He was serious that he was attacking you, but he wasn't serious that you were a sex pest, and he knew that, and you knew that, right? Like you know you're not a fucking sex pest, right? And he knew that. But I think he was serious. But he continued to A-log you and find little fucking things. Like he continued to needle you for months and months and months and months and months, and you acted like it didn't exist or he didn't exist. And then one day you looked up and boom, you're sitting with all this shit on your face, and who's leading the fucking charge? Okay, so I just want you to be very aware.
J-Stalk owns you. J-Stalk owns this guy even on Kick. Crazy. Kick and Twitch banished from YouTube, and he still owns this guy. Crazy.
Yourself into thinking that was anything else other than him taking out the competition. That's all that was. There's no other way to cut it.
I agree with that.
Strategies
but again,
and all this shit.
I agree with that, but again, none of that mattered, and none of that ever affected me, and none of that hurt me. Even when I went and debated Kelly Jean, and this was a thing that popped off, and there were some people who were upset about it. Overall, I ended up, and at the time I felt like a lot of pressure. But when I go back and look and I watch his stream, he was getting attacked way more than I was for calling me a sex pest. His whole community was lining up to debate him. All of the streamers were lining up to debate him. I debated Zonia and Rezi, and they were they were the ones who.
This is delusional. There wasn't this crazy pushback against J-Stalk for making the sex pest claim. Zonia was against him and shit like that, but not the other people. Not
ended up hurting me.
I don't think. That wasn't this crazy pushback. What's this?
Citation or what? But at the bottom you put The Second Sex book by Simone de Beauvoir and Gender Trouble book by Judith Butler. Are these informing any of the text, or are these things that you haven't read yet and you're looking to read in future kind of thing? Or what am I supposed to take in the presence of these titles here?
So I just finished Gender Troubles a couple months ago, and I'm in the middle of Second Sex, and so these are.
Yo, Nick the Oreo raid coming in. What the fuck? Thank you for the raid. Huge raid. We're watching tomfoolery content. So hopefully you enjoy that. Hopefully you're all caught up on the last 12 months of Tomtent. Hopefully you're all aware of that. But we will be covering the I'm Alex allegations later, so I'm sure that's what people actually give a fuck about. Anyway, I don't know what this was supposed to prove. He's just saying he read a couple of these books.
They're just I kind of just listed off just a ton of books that I've read that have helped inform my ideas, or yeah.
It's like a list of influences.
Yeah, just a list of influences. Yeah.
So I guess I have the immediate question.
So he claims you read 1.5 of those books. All right.
Again, like my friends. Then Zonia and Sassafras, once they came out with their shit, again, JCLK and Kuihman and other people are able to piggyback on that and say, oh, look, see, even his own friends are calling him a liar now. Even the people he's closest to are calling him a liar now. See, that proves our shit right. And that's when all of a sudden their shit now matters.
Yeah, wasn't Smaggle meant to be streaming the other day? What the fuck happened to that? I could have sworn I was meant to be seeing a Smaggle stream at some point this week.
All of a sudden. Like, yes, if I go back and watch me debating all of these people when it first happened, that I have way more people in chat, and I have, and it's like 90-something% of them are all agreeing with me and on my side. It was.
I'm not saying you were wrong, or I'm not saying anything of that. I'm talking strategy right now. I'm not even debating the facts.
I know we're talking about outcomes. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about strategy as well, and I'm talking about outcomes.
But what is the outcome, bro? Like, come on, like you're missing my whole point. Bro. Like, and you, I'm not.
Oh yeah, maybe I am. What is your point then? I thought we were talking about like what it is that I did to lead up to that.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I thought it was like what it is that I did leading up to that, and what it is that changed things to where that would like give me a target. I thought that's what we were talking about.
Well, so you said that you came out on top of that whole battle with J-Stalk, right? Yeah, J-Stalk. You said you came out of the whole
holy fuck,
on top of that.
These
right?
guys are insufferable to listen to.
Objectively, something happened there where you were doing better numbers wise than him, and now it's completely flipped around. And there's now I'm not saying that he's better than you or like he's got better content than you, but
yeah, look at Tom's reaction when Philly says that.
Better numbers wise than him, and now it's completely flipped around. And there's now I'm not saying that he's better than you or like he's got better content than you, but now he has
the lean back.
Of course, well, sort of that's a little up in the air at this point, but he, you guys aren't one-to-one comparison, so I'm not trying to do that, right? But what I'm saying is,
what is the thing that happened? Yes, but what is the thing that happened?
What are you saying? What's the thing?
So how does he seriously think this? He can't seriously believe that everything fell apart because. I mean, he doesn't. He is just hanging the whole story on this one instance of disagreement. He's just desperate to hang everything on this SAS fight, everything on the idea that he totally didn't lead on his ex-producer into thinking she was going to be in a romantic relationship with him in exchange for free work. He totally didn't do that, so that means he's innocent on everything else. He never lied about anything ever, because he's addressed it all already, and it's all fine. And now everyone's going to come back. No, bro. No one gave a fuck about the sassafras stuff, dog. No one gives a fuck. Why does he think anyone gives a fuck? No one even knows about that shit. Everyone just knows you as the guy who leaked his e-girlfriend's nudes and then pretended she was a trans woman.
What?
You're saying something happened there, and I'm saying this is what happened. This is the thing that happened. And it feels like
you're saying the outcome of that was you winning. And I'm saying
no.
Bandit, you are the worst troll in the world. He can't hear you. I know, Ninja. I'm
saying the outcome up until the specific thing happened was me winning. Yes.
Right. Yes. Okay.
And then I'm looking at the specific thing, and then I'm saying, yeah, that seems to be the source of my problems. Yeah.
Okay. And all right. So let me just ask you this, and I'll leave it at this because I don't want to like air all this shit out on stream. But looking back at that whole situation, the whole J-Stalk, Kelly Jean, Sassafras, Zonia, that whole thing that happened within a few weeks, that whole thing. Looking back at that whole thing, is there anything that you would have done differently?
There's one thing. That.
How do you get led on by Tom? Sassafras must be impaired as well. No. Yeah, she is currently now dating Sick, the guy who's known for being an alcoholic meth head. That's his claim to fame online. Is an alcoholic meth head who made a vindictive documentary against a girl he sexed online. Yeah, that's. So yeah, she is impaired. Yeah.
I would have done differently, but it was the one thing that was an accident and that I didn't make a decision to do.
Well, besides that, I think I know what you're talking about. Besides that one thing, is there any action, anything that you did that you would change, that you intentionally did?
Yeah, I would have leaked earlier. I would have come out with all this stuff.
Yeah, the guy who's most well known for maybe or maybe not drink driving in Chud Logic's Discord while in VC.
I've been so charitable to them. I wouldn't have kept waiting for them to realize what it was they were doing. I wouldn't have waited for them to be honest and to do the right thing. I would have leaked right then and there. But as I've said, I don't like this shit.
Well, he was definitely in his car, right? I'm being for real. No, everything I'm saying is accurate. Yes, I'm being serious.
It does make me nervous. It does fuck with me. It fucks with my sleep. It fucks with my being able to eat. I fucking hate this shit.
But where's the Sick crazy taxi call? I feel like I need to show this up. Where is Sick's crazy taxi? Here it is.
What went down with Tom? Do you understand now what happened?
Oh, I've understood the entire time.
So you just asked retarded questions because...
No, I'm asking
Red Penny.
questions.
Red Penny, you're fucked up.
Y'all are asking questions.
Say, what made you want to come back about this Tom stuff? Like, why did you have to hop on stream?
Wait.
Oh, fuck. What is gay shit on SoundCloud? Okay, whatever. Point is, you hear his turn signals at some point in that.
And there's a reason why I have been in tons of fights and I have been in tons of battles and I've never leaked anything. There's a reason for that. It's because I don't like this shit. It's just not what I do. It's not fun for me. I do like fights. I do like drama, but not with my friends, not with people I cared about, not with people that I trusted. I don't like that. That's not fun for me at all. I'm happy to go at it with Keffels. I'm happy to go at it with JCLK. I'm happy to go at it with Kuihman. I don't give a fuck, but I don't like doing the shit with people that I trusted and that I have an emotional attachment to. And every time there's something else that they say or something else that I have to interact with, it fucking crushes my heart every time. I don't like doing that shit.
Yeah, so the only thing I have to say to that is obviously pick better friends. But besides that, yeah, you got to just recognize that, especially content creators, like it's almost impossible to make a truly genuine like a friendship with a content creator. It always has to be somebody on a different level, like somebody that you stream with or like you get some sort of benefit from. I don't know, just that's hard to hold a friendship with that kind of dynamic being there. But besides that, yeah, bro, you gotta strategize a little better. Know that you know, just because somebody comes and laughs with you on stream doesn't make you their friend, your friend, I should say. But yeah, you I think you've expressed that you learned that. It's hard to go through. Like people stabbing you in the back is one of the most. It's almost like a girl cheating on you. Like you trust them, like, you know, like you're open with them, and you know you're vulnerable and all this shit, and then they just turn around and do some fucking weird shit. That's why I called Zonia stream and screamed at her that day. I don't know where that vibe went, but I felt a little crazy doing that. But that's how I felt at the time.
She called you out at the very beginning. So I don't think I've mentioned this to everybody yet, but that was the thing that I was going to get to. Is part of me trying to go over the shit. It's actually really hard because Zonia deleted her entire channel. Her whole channel's gone, and the majority of the shit that I want to dig into is in her VOD. The majority of it is in her VOD, and that's gone. Now there's a ton of people with a ton of reviews that I went and downloaded already, and I've got I'm able to like piece those together and get a lot of that now. But yeah, the whole fucking VOD being gone, it's fucked.
Who stabbed Tom in the back? Well, apparently Sassafras and Zonia are the people he's claiming have stabbed him in the back. Because they lied about the details of this call that happened before Zonia's hit piece or something, I guess. So I don't know. I just don't know what the deal is there. Either one could be lying, in my opinion. Either one could be lying. I don't trust either story here. Because right, so what happened was, just for anyone that doesn't remember, the situation was that Zonia did this big hit piece stream saying that Tom's new e-girlfriend was the reason why his community was falling apart and the reason why he was behaving so erratic. She was a worm tongue and she was ruining his life. And Zonia claimed that was all discussed before, that was approved, that was how the stream was meant to go. Tom claimed that wasn't how the stream was meant to go and that wasn't approved. But neither one released the call where they planned it. So, we've got no idea. And I just don't trust either of them.
Yeah, no, but I saw it for what it was at the time. It was particularly with you, I think she saw a opportunity to bond with everybody else on a similar mission of a Tom hate train, and she didn't see much benefit in sticking around, right? Like I think that's the way she analyzed it. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm missing something, right?
Yeah, Tom was crying on that call. I think he was crying on a lot of calls in the background. Oh, great reminder, Bug. Great reminder there. Please remember to like, subscribe, donate, buy membership, gift your membership, buy a super chat if you want to contribute to President Sunday's funeral fund. Is it President Sunday is owned, mugged, and raped, talking shit on viewership in chat all night. And look who's laughing now, Sunday. Look who's laughing now. Every 5 minutes he's posting, "Hey Kuihman, I'm 10 viewers ahead of you." Look who's laughing now, Sunday.
She was lied to, of course.
Wait, who? A little bit. Sass?
Zonia.
I don't think it was a calculated thing for Sass at all. Not whatsoever.
No, I'm talking about Zonia. This is
Zonia? I don't think it was for Zonia either. Actually, I don't think it was for Zonia either. Because she deleted her whole channel afterwards. Like she
ended up with her because it was fucked up. Like, is that the reason though? The reason from my perspective and from what I've seen, and again, I don't know. This is why I try talking to these people, and this is why I want to like have those conversations, because from the conversations that I had with her and from the conversations that I had with Sass, everything that they did was so insanely different from what we had talked about. So from my perspective and from everything that I've seen and from sitting and thinking about this shit for a long time, trying to wonder what the fuck happened there, Zonia talked a lot on that stream about the fact that her and Sass, about a month before that, early January, had figured out that Mantis and I were dating. That's what she said on her stream. Me and Sass figured out that Tom and her were dating. There was a whole bunch of fucking shit that was being talked about Mantis. It was just all behind the scenes. There were a bunch of people spreading rumors about her and talking a bunch of shit. And it sounds like now, on top of that, they were all sitting there like gassing each other up and like getting mad at me about stuff related to Mantis and getting mad at Mantis as well. And they didn't talk to me about it at all, and instead stayed there gassing each other up the whole time. And it could have been handled in a conversation, but they didn't do that. And so the reason the whole thing blew up on stream when I was talking to Zonia and Rezi is that I said to Zonia that she was virtue signaling, and that's something that Mantis had said to her numerous times.
These AI chat, the AI chat summaries are so fucking good now. The chat is discussing Sick, who is apparently a regular drunk driver on Chud's Discord. The chat is reacting with shock and amusement at the revelation.
And so because Zonia and Sass have been talking about this, yes. Yeah. So because Sass and Zonia have been talking about Mantis a lot behind the scenes, and they've been like guessing that her and I were dating, which it wasn't a whole lot of guessing. I told Sass straight up in the beginning of January, me and Mantis are really close. We spend a lot of time together. Like I told her all this. So I don't know why they made it sound like they were fucking detectives. But just real quick, let me wrap that up. The problem was that Zonia, I had accused her of virtue signaling consistently for a long time. It was never meant to be like malicious. It was never meant to be like a hardcore slight towards her. It was just the way that she did content. It seemed a little preachy to me. It seemed a little verbose, and it seemed virtue signaling to me. So when I went through the Lav drama, I accused her of virtue signaling about the Lav shit. When I went through when we got into the food shops fights, I accused her of virtue signaling about that stuff. Like all of the things that I accused her of virtue signaling of in the past, she totally forgot about all of that. And when I said it that day to her, I had been brainwashed by Mantis to believe that she was virtue signaling.
That's what triggered her so much.
Yeah,
that's why.
Thankfully, somebody from my audience went and showed her DMs between the two of us that I had told them like a month earlier. Yeah, my mods have been upset with Zonia lately because she's been virtue signaling about the. Yeah,
this guy's got no place to complain about being verbose, but Zonia absolutely did. I say it did because who knows what Zonia's status is. Well, Zonia absolutely did virtue signal like crazy, about
the food shop stuff too much, and that person leaked my DMs to her. And so when her and I talked, she was like, they did send me the DMs. They did show me that you did say these things back then, and you did say that like mods were saying this back then. So she's like, I just saw it and thought that this was Mantis.
You want to know what's funny about this? And Mantis, please don't get mad at me. But you know, you're my boy, like so kind of internet friends, whatever. But back in like I don't know what November, December, I think you told me that. So like you told me behind the scenes, you're like, yeah, me and Mantis are kind of talking, whatever. And I'm like, is that public? And you're like, no, we're keeping it off stream. You know, it's going to make some people upset. Yada yada yada. You're like, I'm just going to keep that on the download for now. I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Like, yeah, why would you want to blow that up? So when like 2 months later, I see like Chud covering, and he's like, ooh, look at this DM where Tom said this. He's obviously lying because Mantis. I'm like, bro, like I know that this has been a thing. Like he's not lying about that. Y'all can keep saying like he's trying to lie here, he's trying to lie there, he's doing this, he's doing that. But it was like a month later, something like that. And just looking back on that now, that's why it was so crazy that I don't know why I said too much earlier. It was literally like a month later. But that's why it was so crazy looking back on it now. Like
we started talking like around Christmas, I think. So it was.
Yeah, I might have my time out a little bit here. I don't like getting from here or anything, but yeah. So, but yeah, you know, like I said, when it had dropped, I knew already. Like I don't, yeah. So when it dropped, I knew already. Like I don't remember exactly when you told me, but whenever they started talking about it, I'm like, yeah, I've been to this. Like I knew this for like a month already, and I couldn't say it out loud like on stream and shit. So I'm just listening to people try to string these little lies together that you apparently made when you know the truth, Mantis knows the truth, and Sassafras knows the truth, but apparently like there's this whole web of lies that you're lying to everybody about this and that. Like yes, you were like pushing Sass off a little bit, but men know how men deal with like with trying to let a like not even let a girl down easy, but just like, you know, trying to keep things friendly and not have.
Yeah, again, this wasn't the first girl that I ever told her about. Like I again had told her numerous times about other girls that I had flings with, and I was very public about the fact that I was not interested in long-term relationships. I have a montage of me saying on stream over and over and over and over and over and over and over, not interested in committed relationships.
Guys, I have a montage of me saying on stream that I'm a really cool ladies man who's not going to get held down by no hoe. Not gonna get a ball and chain on me. I'm just such a bachelor. I'm just out there slaying pussy. I've got a montage of me saying that, guys. Fucking loser. This is a 35-year-old man, by the way.
Only like do hookups and just like flirty shit with people. That's it. That's all I'm interested in. Sass would tell me that I was traumatized and that was why. But like I was very clear about these things. I did this consistently and that it was not anything new. And I had talks with Sass in DMs about specific women as well in the past. The difference was she hated Mantis. And had like it like that was the difference. And when I only found this recently, so this was only like my guess for why everything happened. But then it was proven correct to me recently, where I saw on somebody's stream that Sass had DM'd them and said, I'll try to find it real quick so I don't have to like guess. But the best way that I remember is she said, Tom didn't listen to my warnings, and that's why I'm upset with him, and like that's why all of this is happening. And when she says her warnings,
her warnings, like what was she warning you about?
I haven't come out with all of this information, but recently, Sulfur showed some shit on stream while we were debating. She leaked one of the DMs where she was talking about Mantis and Abby Blackbird. There were a group of people who were going around saying that Abby and Mantis were running ops in the servers and that they were doing this shit.
Like that, right?
Oh no, not people running Discord ops, not ops on Discord.
I
used to see Mantis everywhere. Not anymore, but I used to see her everywhere, bro. So I don't think it would be unreasonable for one to come to that conclusion.
It wasn't right, like she, especially because she was like involved with
terrible rumors spread about someone.
It was like common in their communities.
Yeah,
we don't run ops. Who's running ops? I don't run no ops.
her chat, excuse me, you would see her like in everybody's chat in Discord, and so yeah, like I think it would be easy to come to the conclusion that she was doing some funny shit. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So, but the thing is that at the time I had proof that that wasn't the case, and so when Sass came to me with this, I showed her the proof. We talked about it. We agreed that this was proof and that it wasn't happening. And Sass says, yeah, so I thought. So she says, hey, this other person wants to talk to you about it. And I was like, okay, well, here's the proof that this isn't real. And we agreed that it wasn't real. And then I said, so you go tell them.
Just yesterday, I was discouraging the harassment of women in Discord, okay?
That
just yesterday. I do not run off.
That, like, we went over the proof and that this isn't happening. And from what I remember, I guess the best I remember, I think it was DMs showing Mantis like making fun of Abby Blackbird and saying that Abby kept saying she wanted to coach her on how to act in Discords and shit like that. And that Abby was like, oh, I'm going to help.
Wait, I think I actually remember this. Why do I feel like I remember this happening? Oh, I can't remember that being a thing. Very cringe.
Help you like be like a a real Discord warrior and shit. And Mantis being like, dude, this fucking bitch is so annoying. Like she keeps doing like this shit where she's trying to like coach me and acting like I need her help with this shit. And like and so I showed this to her and I was like, yeah, it was like, this is pretty obvious. They are not running ops together. Like this is just Abby being weird. Abby might be trying to run ops, but Mantis isn't involved. And so yeah, so we agreed. It was proof. And I said earlier today that like when all of this started like precipitating, that I kind of lost a good bit of trust in Sass. It was because of this. Because after that call, Sass says, I'm going to go, she says, I'm going to go talk to that other person and I'll go tell them that like you showed me proof and that this is all done. And then Sass messages me right after and says, hey, they still want to talk to you. So I said, okay. So I went and talked to that person a couple days later and they tell me the same exact story that Sass told me. And I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Did Sass not tell you that this wasn't real? Did Sass not tell you that this was proven to be wrong? And no,
she didn't, because she believed it. Yeah.
What do you mean? Why? Yeah. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? I was like, okay, here. And I did the same thing. She like told them about it or showed them or whatever. And I was like, yeah, this is like obvious that this isn't real. And they're like, oh, okay, my bad. Yeah, I guess this was a waste of time. Whatever. And I'm like, you're sure? Like Sass didn't tell you this. They're like, yeah, she didn't say anything to me about this whatsoever. And then her and Sass go get into a call. And the next I hear from Sass, it's like an hour later, she's pissed off and she's taking off for a couple of days. And when she came back, yeah, she told me that she was upset about some things. And I got into it with her and told her, I was like, this is fucked up. Why didn't you go tell her that Mantis wasn't running ops? Why did you continue to like let her try to convince me of something that you knew wasn't true? Like, why would you do that? And why are you letting them, like, who knows how many other people they've all gone and told now? And you just didn't tell any of them?
Looking back on it now, you see where this went wrong, right?
Well, she said, I fuck Mantis. I don't like her, so I don't care.
Thank you for the membership.
And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So damn. So yeah, so you just know that this isn't true. And you know people are spreading this shit. And you're okay with it just because you don't like this person. That's disgusting. Like that is so fucked up. And we got into it pretty hardcore over it. And I lost a lot of trust in her that day. I questioned her pretty hardcore after that. And yeah, things.
Well, listen, that's a good way to judge people. Like that's what I got into it with Kid Not Ken about. I'm like, okay, you don't like me, you think I'm this, I'm that, but it's okay to then lie about me because you don't like me, right? And that's basically what you're saying that Sassafras was engaging in, and that yeah, that should give you pause, right? Because that is not a good thing. So just two things here. So I think where you went wrong here was not being 100% upfront with Sass. I don't know her, so I don't want to speak for her, but it seemed as if, she had this certain affection for you, right? She wanted to, look out for what she thought was your best interest as your mod and shit, right? Like she really enjoys you as a person, and she likes to make you have the best content possible, right? But she really doesn't like this one person in your community who seems to be doing all this weird shit around, right? And you're like defending her a little bit, like too much, right? Like it's not like just some random chatter to her. She's like saying that something's weird, right? So I think like you shouldn't have treated her like she's retarded, right? I think you should have probably told her straight up what was going on as soon as it was going on. Her being your head mod, right?
Again, there's a bunch of other things around this that made that more difficult. I don't want to go over all of it. Again, a lot of this will come out in the video with all of the context and all of the facts there, so that
bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, go ahead. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have cut you off.
I don't even remember what you asked me now. I totally lost my train of thought.
It's okay. So, all right. So, Sassafras, like, you think that, like, so I was asking you basically, like, what?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because of this, yes, because of the way she acted, yes, because of that, like, that problem with that thing, that one, I told her numerous times, I'm not going to talk to you about flings that I have with girls. I'm not going to talk to you about like shit like that with women. And not only that,
that's what you're telling her.
Yes, I'm saying, like, I've told her this numerous times.
That's not going to work as her being your head mod, right?
So what I told her was, if it becomes content, then I will tell you. Like, if it starts to become a thing where it could become drama, it could get leaked, it could turn into something.
No. I can't tell you. But are you seeing where this went wrong? Right now, I get what you're saying, right? Like I get why you would want to not tell her, but I'm saying, do you see it from her perspective why you should tell her, or like why not telling her would be a problem? Like, say with a person like Mantis?
This is like a while ago. Like, we're talking about like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago maybe, where we initially had this conversation where she starts asking me, do girls ever send you things? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, it happens. And she's like, and do you answer? And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I'm a guy. Like, yeah, of course I do. And she's like, so who? And I was like, I'm not telling you that. She's like, well, what about this person? What about this person? What about that person? And I'm like, yo, I just told you, I'm not telling you this. And she's like, why? Like, we tell each other everything. Why wouldn't you tell me this? And I was like,
so right there, you should have realized that it would be a problem for you to not tell her, right? Like a year,
Maybe,
a year and a half ago, you
just this guy is so retarded for letting this go on. It seems like he at least knew she was interested and let it carry on. At the very least, even if he didn't lead her on, he knew she was interested. He probably had a pretty good idea that was her motivation for helping him. And he let it carry on. So he might not have led her on. We'll see in the document, I guess. We'll see. Maybe he explicitly shut it down. And said, listen, this will never happen. It will never be the case. I'm not interested in you remotely. But he may have been doing the thing where he says, oh, I don't E-date. I don't E-date. I don't want a long-term relationship. All this sort of shit. And never actually said, no, Sass, I'm not interested in a relationship with you. Not now. Not ever. Are we doing the woman thing? Oh, I'm just not ready right now. That. You know?
Hold on. It could have been a problem. If one way or the other, if I knew it was a problem, it wouldn't have changed anything. I still wouldn't have told her. Like, it's just not something that I'm going to talk about.
You would have to find a new head mod. Like, your head mod needs to know basically everything that's going on with you online.
Yes, right, that's different though. That's different. Again, like I said, like if it applies to content somehow, if it's going to get leaked, if somehow it does actually, it is something that she needs to know, then yes, of course, I'm going to tell her. And that's why I say that there are some times that I did tell her about things just because there was a possibility that a thing could come out. And so I went and talked to her about things. And so that's why I'm saying that there are times. But as far as like me being allowed to have some privacy, as far as me being allowed to have my own sex life, as far as me being allowed to decide where my boundaries are, and especially with...
Bro, you don't have a sex life. This is all the internet, bro. What... You cannot be in your 30s calling Discord your sex life, dude.
If it applies to content somehow, if it's going to get leaked, if somehow it does actually, it is something that she needs to know,
this is
of course,
crazy.
I'm going to tell her. And that's why I say that there are some times that I did tell her about things just because there was a possibility that a thing could come out. And so I went and talked to her about things. And so that's why I'm saying that there are times. But as far as like me being allowed to have some privacy, as far as me being allowed to have my own sex life, as far as me being allowed to...
Sex life on Discord in your 30s. Tom... Sort it out, bro. What is going on in your life? Holy fuck.
Decide where my boundaries are, and especially with a female mod, and especially with a where I don't want there to be any like bias to where they treat that person better or they treat that person worse or anything like that. Yes, I can't tell anybody. No way. I can't tell anyone.
Okay. All right. So I completely understand your perspective. Okay. So 100%. Like, listen. I'm even at the point where, bro, like I've had my friends lie to women about, I've lied to my friends' women for them, right? Like, so I'm not sitting here like, bro, you lied, like you're a fucking piece of shit. Like if I'm out with my friend and his girl calls and she's like, where y'all at? And he's like, yo, say we're here. I'm going to say we're there, right? Like, I'm not like, okay, like this isn't the end of the world. What I'm asking you is, do you see why having a head mod that somebody might have a crush on you, that, has an effect, some sort of affection for you, right? Do you see why having her as your head mod and then not telling her that you're dating to her, a chatter, or another person that's on the internet, right? Like, do you see where those two things will inevitably at some point clash?
Again, I don't know that it is inevitable. I think it is.
I think it is. I think it is.
Okay, I didn't. I thought highly of Sass. And
it's nothing about her. It's nothing about her.
It is. It
listen,
is.
Just listen to me for 1 second, bro. Listen to me, because what it makes you do is be deceptive. It's not making her do anything.
No,
like you know how she feels. You know where she's at.
It's not because if I tell her, hey, you shouldn't ask me about these things. Stop asking me about this. This is none of your business. You should you shouldn't be asking me about these things. I need this is shit that I need to keep to myself. Like if I tell her that and she keeps asking, I don't feel like I'm making it to where I have to be deceptive. I feel like she's making it to where I have to be deceptive.
Okay. So here's my perspective. All right. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. Here's where I disagree with you. Okay. Oh, please, before I forget, real quick, what I was saying earlier about Chud Logic was not that he was wrong or that he was crazy in his coverage. It was that he didn't know certain things. So to me, it was just funny to watch, right? Like he did what he was supposed to do. Like, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, it did make you deceptive towards Sassafras.
Huh? Let me correct this so that I can. I pulled this up just to make sure I didn't get it wrong. I didn't want to. The Sass.
I think my friend misspoke for me to Chud. I'm not disappointed in you. Right, so that's talking about Sass saying she didn't like Zonya's coverage of what happened, I think. I'm not disappointed in you. I wanted to support your stream with receipts of how much Tom has misled and lied to me. So people understood this is why I ended our friendship. I'm not here to sweep for Tom. I wanted to make it clear that I don't think he's been absolved of any responsibility. I share Zonya's frustration with Mantis's behavior. I had warned Tom about her negative influence on the community. Unfortunately, he chose to lie to me and not listen to my advice, which is why I've decided to move on.
This message said, she was talking to Chud because Chud apparently got a DM saying that Sass was upset with Zonia's stream, and he said on stream, I heard from credible sources that Sassafras is upset with Zonia's stream, and so Sass, apparently, they leaked this message from Sass where she said, I think my friend misspoke for me to Chud. I'm not disappointed in you. I want to support your stream with receipts of how much, I guess she sent this to Zonia maybe then. I want to support your stream with receipts of how much Tom has misled and lied to me, so people understood this is why I ended our friendship. I'm not here to sweep for Tom. I wanted to make it clear that I don't think he's been absolved of any responsibility. I share Zonia's frustration with Mantis's behavior. I had warned Tom about her negative influence on the community. Unfortunately, he chose to lie to me and not listen to my advice, which is why I've decided to move on. So that is the actual message that I was referencing earlier. I didn't want to leave it as a paraphrase to where somebody could say that I lied about it or something. So this is what it actually said. And again, I'm just gonna repeat this. There, outside of her saying shit about Mantis doing ops, there was no conversation about getting rid of Mantis or kicking her out or anything like that. It was just that she looked at Mantis with a side eye, and I said, okay, I don't, because I had at this point, after months of this stuff, talking to Mantis numerous times and starting to build a relationship with her because of a lot of this shit. I now know her well enough to know that Sass is wrong about the things and to know for a fact how wrong she was. But it was only really that Sass said she was looking at her with a side eye because of the op stuff and because she hung out in Spicy chat all the time, in Kuihman's chat, JCLK's chat, and that she was part of those communities.
You think she was jealous of Mantis?
I don't know. I don't want to get into that. I have no idea.
Okay. There was one more question I wanted to ask.
Brady, you've got no idea.
Okay. So, let's just finish off.
I would say probably. I would say probably. From part of the problem is that Forever Wild came into the Discord today and said Sass didn't have romantic feelings for Tom. They were just friends, blah blah blah. Or she said this to Shelbone or something like that. But numerous people have stated publicly and privately that Sass told them that I led her on and that I made her believe that we were going to.
Wait, did I miss a super sticker? The fuck? Oh, thank you, Nick. Too bad for you for the 3 hippos emerging from water. I don't have the actual description or sticker name up, but I'm describing it as I see it.
To have a relationship. So
has she ever shown any evidence of that?
No, that was part of my issue. That's why I said these things over and over when people were coming out saying Tom's so abusive. Tom gaslit her into believing they were going to be in a relationship. Tom was trying to lead her on so he could get free work out of her. Blah blah blah.
That's the first
I offered
thing
to pay this chick. Yes, I offered to pay her. All sorts of shit, but she I kept saying, guys, there's just no evidence of this. There's no flirting. Yeah. I never even flirted, never even a little bit. Yes, the shit that's coming out with other women and jokes like that, I never would have joked with her like that, ever. It never happened. And I had clear conversations with her outside of that to make sure that that wasn't the case. So, but yeah.
So that's the conclusion I came to, is that Sass just ultimately she didn't like Mantis and she got jealous. But when I'm asking you, do you know where you could have done something differently? It's only to point out that this could have been avoided a long time ago by either just telling Sassafras or by getting a new head mod. So but
maybe there's an important detail that's missing.
There's some high school ass drama for $2. Thank you, Emery. Yeah, it is. Sadly, this is what Tom's made it all about, though, because this is the one fight he can win, so he's focusing on this one. So we're getting the Sassafesto, we're getting a full document on Sassafras, or full documentary, maybe even. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Yo, thank you for the membership to Dongo, and thank you for the $9.99 Cleve.
Clever Nugget super chatted $9.99.
Couldn't tell whether that was a Cleve Mugget or Clever Nugget. It's Clever Nugget.
Realize the issue here. Remember the story I just told you about lying to my friend's girlfriend? It's like as if that same friend turned around and was like, no, I didn't lie to my girl, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't. I'm like, well, no, wait. Let me show you how you kind of did, or let her on at least. I don't know. I just want to make sure you understand that when you're dealing with a woman who might be jealous, who, like I said, has some sort of affection for you, you have to be aware of that at all times, especially if she's your head mod, dog. Please tell me you understand that.
I do.
Not even trying to
there's an important detail missing here. And I am trying to be vague about a lot of this stuff because I do want everything to come out with all of the context, but I do feel like based on how much I've said here, I have to say this again that I've said in the past. This is something that I do question sometimes. And this is something that, a decision that I made that I do question regularly, but at the time, I just thought I was doing the right thing. Because of Sass's obsession with my personal life and with what I was doing, who I was talking to, all that shit, she was getting more and more upset that we weren't talking on the phone. But we had gone over schedules and everything and talked about when we were available. And she said, well, I don't want to talk on those days, but maybe sometime I will. And so I said, okay, then you have to reach out to me and tell me when. And she said, okay. At this point, we hadn't talked consistently for well over a year, since November of 2022, I think. But anyways, wait,
hold on. Just to be clear, you do not have to say anything you don't want to say to satisfy what I'm not even trying to get.
I understand, but I'm saying that based on the context I've given so far, I have to make sure that this is clear, because otherwise it's going to sound very different than what actually happened.
Oh no.
So because of that, and because of all these issues.
No, he didn't, Humac. No, he didn't. He never conceded that it was a gross overstatement on the linguistic stuff. He refuses to concede that.
When she messaged me and said, "Are you dating Mantis?" It was the first time she's ever asked me this. I'd already told her a month earlier. So, Mantis and I are close, and we talk a lot, and we had a whole conversation about it.
He's also been doubling down on the idea of him being an expert in gender too.
Paul,
so
that Sass was she was like constantly bugging me about who I was talking to, who I was typing to, who I was texting. If I was on stream and I typed, she started DMing me. Who are you typing to? Who are you messaging? If I was sitting here on my phone, she would start messaging me. Who are you DMing? Who are you messaging right now? She would ask. Yes, she would ask like, did you talk to anybody last night? Were you on a call with anybody last night? No. Are you on calls with people after stream? No, not generally. Are you? Oh, generally? Wow, generally? Wow. Okay, Tom. Wow. What is that? That's doing a lot of heavy lifting. What does that mean? I was like, I talked to Philly a couple days ago after stream. He had an issue with like some Reddit posts that he wanted to talk about. So I talked to him. There was this other person that there was this issue. And so I had to talk to them after stream, like the week before. But outside of that, I told you, when I get off stream, I want to go to bed. I don't talk to people. Anyways, this shit just kept happening, kept building up. So then when she asked me, are you dating Mantis? And I replied, we have a more romantic style relationship.
Thank you for the $2, Dodongo.
Dodongo Manoof super chatted $2. Brianna Wu is bad.
There's a universal message I think we can all get behind.
She says, fuck you, I'm done with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I was a bit blown away, but also really pissed off that she is like butting into my shit again like this. I felt like I answered her and said, yes, we have a more romantic style relationship, and I had talked to Mantis that day because...
Nick, too bad for you. Skull, super chatted $5. Tom is fair. Tom has more is than Darius. Tom never lies.
Darius.
Tom has papers being used by colleges. Tom is also a linguist by trade. Be like Tom.
Thank you for the $5, Nick.
Because of the stuff leaking, where we said, yes, I need to go talk to Sass about this now. Now this is content. Now this is shit. And now I have to go have a conversation with her about all this. But instead, she asked me in DMs, so I answered her in DMs. And she says, I'm done with you. I'm out of here. I said, all right, can we talk about this? She says yes. So we get into a call. And the last couple of calls had all been about like the fact that she feels like because I say I'm talking to Mantis more, that means that I'm talking to her less. And I was like, I was like, the two are not related. Like me talking to Mantis more, I have a lot of time. No, it wasn't. It really wasn't. Because she means like on calls, not texting. She means on calls. But we hadn't been talking on calls for like a year and a half at this point. So it just, I've been talking to Mantis for a month. Hadn't been talking to her for a year and a half. So, so I said to her, I was like, dude, and I told her days before that when she asked me, she's like complaining about me talking to Mantis too much and asking about my relationship with Mantis. And this is before, I think, the leaks, where she kept asking me about it and I kept saying, dude, I'm not talking to you about this stuff. Stop asking. I'm not talking to you about this. But I did tell her, I said, look, I have told Mantis that if I am talking to her at any point and you call, I have to hang up with her and get on a call with you. I was like, I have told Mantis that she knows, she is aware. If you call, I'm hanging up and getting on a call with you. And Sass says, okay, that makes me feel better. So then when she did this and she says, fuck you, I'm out of here, blah, blah, blah. We get onto a call and she says, you've been lying to me this whole time. Now that you're saying that you have a romantic relationship with Mantis, now I know.
He says the Destiny documentary is still coming. Apparently he hired people to do editing work on it and then they left without doing the work. They took the money and left. So...
not talking to me on the phone. I kept saying, Sass, we're not talking on the phone because you don't call me. We're not talking on the phone because you never call. You said you don't want to talk on those days. And that's why. And she's like, yeah, but it just doesn't matter because now even if I wanted to talk, you wouldn't talk to me because you're spending all your time with her. And I was like, Sass, I just told you the other day, I will prioritize you. If you want to talk, I have known you for a long time. You are a close friend of mine. If you want to talk, I will always talk to you. If you are available and you want to talk, I will always talk to you. And again, I've told Mantis this, and I've told her that I will prioritize you and I will come talk to you if we ever happen to be on the phone and you call. And she says, okay, shit, I wish you had said that before. I said, I did say that before. And she's like, well, you didn't say it like that before. I appreciate that you're going to prioritize me better. And then I said,
well, Tom.
Okay, well, I don't feel better. I told you over and over, I need you to butt out of my business. I need you to stop asking me about this shit. I need you to stop talking to me about this. I need you to stop asking about Mantis. I've told you all this shit so many times. And the fact that you're reacting this way, this is not healthy. You've been doing this for a month now, and it's not healthy for me. It's definitely not healthy for you. And I don't want to do this anymore. She starts screaming at me, fuck you, you're a piece of shit, fuck you. I'm done with...
Guy just got convicted in the UK for stealthing. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's about the picture I expected.
Wait, hold on. You cut out for me. Wait, hold on. What just happened?
Is that okay?
Hello? I think Philly dropped. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. You cut out and I couldn't hear you, and I left, and then I didn't realize you had the channel lock. I tried to come back in, but it was locked. But the last thing you said was shit. Just go back like 15 seconds.
So yeah, what I said. So when she says, "Okay, I feel better now," I said, "I don't feel better. I've told you, stop butting into my business. Stop asking me about this shit. This isn't healthy for me. It's definitely not healthy for you." Yeah, she says, "Fuck you. I'm done with you." Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. I just told you I'm done with you, but fine. You're done with me. Whatever. That's when we go over like what the message is going to be and what we're going to say when she leaves and all that. When I say this is one of the things that I like have questioned a lot is obviously in the middle of the shit with like the nude leak, the Kelly Jean shit. This is one of the worst times in the world. If she was like willing to make amends and
leave
stay,
amicably,
yes. Yes, maybe I should have just taken that. And from my perspective, that's what she's saying when she says, "I'm, I feel better now. I thank you for saying that. I wish you had said it like that before." Blah blah blah. Like from my perspective, she's saying like, "Okay, maybe I overreacted. I don't want to leave anymore." That's what I'm getting from it, and that's why I'm like immediately realizing, oh fuck, this isn't good because yeah, she probably shouldn't be here. And so that's when I tell her, yeah, I'm not comfortable with this. This isn't okay anymore. Yeah, just like optically, that was a horrible fucking move, horrible strategy, horrible thing, but it just felt like it was the right thing to do. I was not comfortable with it at that point, and I felt like it had reached its peak to where her reacting that way to who it was that I was talking to was way over the line for me and well past my boundaries, and I was not, I was not okay with it.
So yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. Yeah, I know what's about to happen now. So all right, so you, okay, you are 100% like you read the situation right. The only thing is when she left, you should have probably just been like, yeah, we had some differences, and that's it. She's leaving. I'm not really saying anything. She's not saying anything, and left it at that. Now it's like, okay, we know the truth. I kind of knew the truth back then, but now like I know all the details which fit into what I kind of thought was happening anyway. And now I know everybody's gonna hang on to like, well, why did you say what you said back then? But the answer to all of that is obviously you weren't trying to blow up, this bridge you had, whatever was left of it with Sassafras as she left. It wasn't gonna work her as head mod. That was inevitable, like I said earlier. That wasn't gonna work. So it finally came to a head, and when she left, that probably should have been the end of it. I don't know why it turned into a whole fucking drama. In my mind, it wasn't.
The thing that they gave as a reason at the time was what Zonia told me and what Zonia stated on her stream was that her, Sass and I, we went over a statement. I typed up a statement and I said, "Is this good? Do you want me to put this out?"
No, I remember what happened. Yeah.
Well, I made it about scheduling, but she said, make it less about scheduling and make it more about like work or something like that. Say that's why I'm not going to be around.
Okay. And then she got upset and then told Chud that those were the lies you were telling.
Jesus Christ, man.
But I added at the end of it. Sass is a good friend and a good producer, and I'm sure she'll do great somewhere else. And she apparently, I guess, took from that I was trying to convince people that we were still friends, and that I was trying to like lie to people to make them think that that everything was okay. Which, from my perspective, that's not.
Again, I just can't reiterate this enough. No one gives a fuck about this sassafras stuff. No one fucking cares. I'm gonna farm it because people care about Tom Tent now. But no one. This doesn't change anyone's perception of him.
I meant it in a general sense that she is a good friend. Like if you're her friend, she's a good friend. So don't like think that I'm going to bash her. Don't think that I'm going to trash talk her because I still think of her as somebody who is a good friend. But I was trying to, I added that shit in.
Oh,
thinking,
yeah, wait.
I'm going to try to say something nice about this person that I'm fucking furious.
So yeah, he says here, he just said she was a good friend. What did he say? Sass is okay. She hasn't been around as much lately from work and we both got busy with other things. Our schedules had hard time matching up more and more to where we couldn't talk and plan as much as we wanted. She's a super hard worker and has her own job she's focusing on. So she's focusing on her own stuff for a while. Best modern producer of all time and is a super great friend. Oh, he did say is a super great friend. Uru may own the server now, but no one can replace Sass. She'll always be a fool. I'm sure she'll still be around eventually. Yeah, no, there's the problem. He said that she'll still be around eventually. That, like, she'll come back. But no, they were done. They were done. Yeah, so that does change a super great friend thing. So he's missing out part of the... This is the linguist who always goes on about context. Now, words mean different things in context. If you say, she's a super great friend, and I'm sure she'll be back eventually, all that happened was scheduling conflicts. That sounds like nothing happened. That sounds like nothing happened. It's just scheduling conflicts. But no, she was done with you and didn't want anything to do with you ever again.
With right now, and that I would love to just like hammer. Yeah. Yes, and I'm going to try to just be the bigger person and just say something nice about her as she's going away. And apparently that was the fucking thing that blew everything off. Is that I said she's a good friend, and that was it.
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So I'm interested in you live and you learn every day. So like I said, I'll keep asking you. Looking back at that incident, you probably wouldn't have put that last part in, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah, for sure.
I got a concession out of time. I did it, y'all. He would have did something differently. He wouldn't have changed everything, but there is one thing he would have did differently. That might
for sure.
Things. You never know.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. I would not have put that in there for sure. 100%.
All right. Well, listen, you know where I stand on all this, bro. All these questions are just to, kind of let you, get all this shit out your system, because you obviously need to get this out, bro. I don't want to see you on the defensive every night. Like, well, actually, guys, this happened. Yeah, we need time. Okay, this is my, we're going after him this week. We're going after him this week. Oh, this isn't right. We're gonna cover this week. That's the time I know. That's where I want to see you firing. Yeah, fuck all this defense. Yeah.
Just to be clear again, none of this is defense. All of this at this point is all offense. Like all these people that I'm approaching, it is over and over showing the patterns of behavior instead of just talking about it. Now, engaging with them and proving it over and over and just making my case so that it is as clear as day to everybody who looks at it. But while we're on it, you have been a fucking OG, dude. You've been one of like the best warriors going out there. And though sometimes it's a little annoying when you make concessions on things that you should not be conceding on about my character and shit, I appreciate the hell out of you. And even though you're a massive Hassan fan, I still love you, bro, and I appreciate your loyalty and your friendship throughout all of this. You've been dope.
Well, no, like also real shit. Yeah, it's good.
Top Janny, top Janny.
But you recognize
replacing Sassafras,
who are your friends and who aren't your friends. I'll leave it at that. But like, yeah, pick good.
Tom
good
says,
targets, right?
"I'm done with horse. I've got Philly anyway."
Points here. Pick good, and thank you for that. But pick good targets, right? You want to laser focus in on certain things or aspects. Why this person is inconsistent here, or why they're a hypocrite there. Why you shouldn't listen to them. Discrediting certain people in certain aspects. And make sure your targets are the right ones, right? Because right now you have enemies, obviously, and you need to make sure that we're not, a bunch of civilian casualties like Sassafras and all these other people that don't matter. But we disagree on that. You already said that. I don't want to fucking spin a loop again. I'll leave it there. Thank you for having me. Peace out. And we'll talk again next time. All right.
All right, later, fam.
All right, Tom. Be safe.
All right, I'm gonna pull the next caller on, but I gotta run to the restroom real quick. So I will be right back.
Okay.